Good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back like we never left. Have you been waiting on me? Have you been like, where is Genesis? He gotta come back. Because I know I've been thinking about you guys. Thinking about y'all. What's good, people? What's good? Shout out to everybody watching the live show. Shout out to the new subscribers. Shout out to everybody showing some love. Just shout out to everybody, man. That's all I can say. Shout out to everybody putting in the work to take care of their family, to be a good father, to be a good mother, to be a good child. You know what I mean? Shout out to you guys. We are back and we're throwing it back one more time for the OG. For the OG right here. We're throwing it back for the OG Big T. Trump, okay? We're throwing it back. We're throwing it back. We're throwing it back, okay? And stay locked in for because we're about to go. We're about to go in. We are about to go in. Like the live show, subscribe to the channel, and let's get it. Are you having a good night? That's the fact. That's the question. Are you having a good night? First of all, before I start the show. I hope you're having a good night. I have my dinner right here, and it's about to be a beautiful night. I don't know about you guys, but like if you go to Zaxby's, do you get Zax sauce? Because I actually get Zax sauce, and I think Zax sauce is actually like one of the best sauces out there with the Chick-fil-A sauce. Yeah, let's get straight to the business. All right, let's get straight to business.
He's around here someplace. Kevin, thank you. Collect so much money. What did you say, 23 million? That's not bad. I mean, you are the minority, I hate to say. That's not going to last long, I don't think. That's not going to last long. It was just a brief little spell. You wanted to take a little break. You shouldn't have done it, I told you that. Don't worry, they blame me. I say, what the hell did I have to do with it? They said Trump wasn't running, but you know what? We're going to do great. I really believe it. We're going to do great. We're going to take the House back. We are. I feel totally confident about that. We're going to watch those vote tallies. You know, I keep hearing about the election and the various counting measures that they have. There were a lot of close elections they seemed to every single one of them went Democrat. If it was close, they say the Democrat, well, there's something going on, fella. You got to be a little bit more paranoid than you are, okay? Look, all these beautiful people, these beautiful Republican congressmen and women. But we have to be a little bit careful because I don't like the way the votes are being tallied. I don't like it, and you don't like it either. You just don't want to say it because you're afraid of the press. You're afraid of the press, but we have to be careful. And I have to tell you, though, that this is my third one of these, and this is really something. It's thrilling to be here tonight with my many great friends and fellow patriots to support incredible Republican members of Congress, and you are incredible, and you've gone through a lot, and you're tougher and stronger than ever. And I'll tell you, I have never been more unified with you than I am right now for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's true. You helped us on the border, which turned out that you're right on that one. That was when it was a little bit less in vogue than it is today. Now everybody's saying, I told you there was an emergency. But you were there right from the beginning. I appreciate it. I really mean, I don't think I've ever been closer to you folks, the people in this room, than I am right now. More so than I was even a year ago. And it was pretty good then, too. But you're fighting every day for our citizens, our safety, our rights, and our God-given freedom. I especially want to thank the rest of this terrific House Republican leadership team, including Republican Whip, the bravest man in this room, a man who played second base in a game where a shot was hit to him, He had zero range. You know, the Yankees had a guy, Bobby Richardson. They say he had the widest range of anybody. He could get a ball anywhere. Go back to shortstop. He was a second baseman. He had the greatest range of everybody. Steve Scalise had the least range of anybody in the history of second base. And I watched that game, and I said, oh, my God, look, a shot was hit to second. It was hit hard, a really hard ground ball. And he got down, he blocked that sucker. He then picked it up, and he threw it to first. I said, is this a movie we're watching? The first pitch. And Steve Scalise, and let me tell you, Steve Scalise has courage. I was with him that night and his incredible family, his wife, and he wasn't looking so good. And in a short while, and the doctor said he wasn't looking so good. It wasn't such a great prognosis. And I'll tell you what, he fights better than anybody, and he's my friend, and he's your friend, Steve Scalise. Where's Steve? Where's Steve? Thank you, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Steve. Great guy. I'm glad you're on our side, Steve, okay? And thank you very much, and congratulations and to your family. Amazing what's happened with you. A person who is tough and smart and somebody that fought very hard, loyal. I did something for a man named Scooter Libby, who was not treated fairly in the eyes of many. I've heard this for many years, was not treated fairly. And Liz and her father, and they came out early for me. Actually, her father came out like almost immediately for me, and it was interesting because I didn't know him. I liked him, I respected him, but I didn't know him really, but he came out very early. It was a very important moment, actually, for me, because who the hell was supporting me? Everyone thought I was just playing games, right? They said, he doesn't really mean this, he's just having fun. You call this fun? It's fun. You get phony witch hunts and you get all the others. It's a lot of fun, folks. Have a good time. Have a good time, Donald, as I wave goodbye to Fifth Avenue. Great time. But I am having a great time because we're doing a lot. We're doing more than anyone's ever done in a short period of time. We're doing it together. And I am having a good time because we're producing for people. But Liz Cheney was so dedicated and the loyalty, and that was just an honor for me to do it because we want to take care of our people that got hurt, our people that got wounded. They got wounded, just like Steve got wounded. This was a different kind of a wound, and we took care of him, and she was so happy, and her father was so happy because they don't forget. Those are good people. So, Liz, thank you very much. Where is Liz? Where is Liz? Thank you, Liz. I mean that, too. Dedicated. It's called loyal people. We like loyal people. And our NRCC chair, Tom Emmer. Tom, thank you, Tom. Great job. I watched him speaking from back. They have beautiful camera setups, and I looked at my people. I said, this guy's like central casting. You couldn't pick a better guy in Hollywood. There's no actor that could do it better. Really, thank you, Tom. Thank you for the great job, more importantly. And a special thanks to the chair of this evening's dinner, and I've agreed to go to the Caterpillar place where they make those beautiful D10s. I said, are they making the D12 yet? No, they make that in a different location. I said, well, Darren, I want to go there then. I want to see what a D12 looks like. But we're going to Caterpillar. We'll be there soon. And that's a great company. And Darren LaHood does a fantastic job of representing that area. They love him. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be there, Darren. I'll be there. Finally, to all of our wonderful supporters here tonight who pour your time, your energy, your resources, and your heart into defending our great nation. Your commitment has never been more important than it is right now, and we thank you. And we are all together putting America first, something you haven't heard for many, many decades. America first. We're putting America first. That's what we're doing. And you see that in our deal with China. You're going to see that in a lot of different things. They're all coming online right now. You're seeing it in a lot of different ways. It's amazing. You know, we ran on a theme, Make America Great Again. And a lot of people are saying that may have been the greatest theme ever in politics. I think it is. And it wasn't. Ronald Reagan had a small thing called Let's Make America Great. That was good. I don't like it as much. And he sure as hell didn't use it as much. We've sold millions and millions of hats. Now you go to a rally, everybody has the red hat, Make America Great Again. Maybe I can have a little help from you. So we have to make a decision pretty soon because we've done a lot for the country. The stock market's up almost 50%. We've gotten rid of the great regulations Kevin and everybody have told you, and the great tax cuts with the legendary Kevin Brady and his group, and we've done all of these things. Where's Kevin? I was actually going to introduce him later, but I'll introduce him right now. Where's Kevin? Thank you, Kevin. What a job this man's done. What a job he's done. Thank you, Kevin. You really have. But we have to make a decision. Theme for the next campaign. So we've been here by that time, 3.5 years. We're going into the war with some socialists. And it looks like the only non-sort of heavy socialist, he's being taken care of pretty well by the socialists they got to him. Our former vice president, I was going to call him, I don't know him well, I was going to say, welcome to the world, Joe. You having a good time, Joe? Are you having a good time? But we're going to be running against somebody who's going to go as far left as possible. They're going to go out there. And so we have to come up. Do we say, seriously, let me know, do we say, keep America great? My theme was going to be keep America great because we've made it great. And we really have. I mean, China is down 38%. Kevin, because of tariffs, okay? See, look at Kevin. You're not unhappy about that. And we're up 50%. And the world is not doing well. Europe is not doing well. Asia is not doing well, but we're doing well. We're setting records. We should have another record very shortly in the stock market. I think we have 22 records, 22, where the stock market hit new highs, 22. 100% ours. We have everyone, 22. And now we're going to have another one. It looks like it was looking a little bit bleaker 2 or 3 months ago, but that was artificial. It was artificially caused. But it looks like we're going to have some more. We're going to have a lot more. But I have to decide, do we make a change in the theme? So you'll tell me because you'll clap. So we have the greatest theme, I think, really, of all time. Make America Great Again. MAGA. MAGA. MAGA country, right? MAGA country. How about the guy from Chicago? The actor that nobody ever heard of. Nobody ever heard. I said, who the hell is that? He said, he got taken out by MAGA country. I said, what the hell was that? I guess that's a hate crime, right? He got taken out by MAGA country. But we have MAGA, and we do have MAGA country. We have people that are so in love with us. We have the greatest base, I believe, in the history of politics, or I wouldn't be here. With all the things I've done, they never wavered. They never wavered. Can you believe anybody else? They'd be down to 2% right now. And we just had our best. We just had 51 and 54. And they say you can add 10. Because 10% of the people love us, but they're ashamed to say that I'm voting for the president. I don't care. They're ashamed. And I said, am I supposed to like that? I do. We'll take it any way we can get it, right, fellas? Any way we can. Actually, in the one poll, we have some great pollsters, unless they work for CNN. That's fake news. You know, polls can be fake news, too. But we have one poll where the pollster said, anybody that says I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to tell you. I don't want to even discuss it. And they also added another 2 words when they call up and they say these 2 horrible words. Anybody in that category, it's 100% vote for Trump. And what they've done is they don't count that. But now this one counts that. It's 100%. We're going to have a great election. The question is, do I go with Make America Great Again, or do I go with Keep America Great? Because we made it great in theory. So you ready? Let's go. Let me hear it. And it is hard. You know, I was seeing the other day, they were saying it's probably the greatest theme in the history of politics. I think it is. Make America Great Again, MAGA. How do you give that up for a new one? CAG. Keep America Great. CAG. I don't know. Maybe it catches on. You never know. You know, at first with MAGA, I never thought MAGA was going to catch on. And now MAGA, everything's MAGA. I even say just whenever I do a tweet, boy, that has kept us in business, those tweets. It's my only form of defense because the press is 94% against us. 94%. So who likes Make America Great Again? And you people are pros, most of you, not all of you. I see a couple of people I know, they have not done well in this business. In fact, they're sitting outside of those doors trying to get in. Who likes Keep America Great? Okay, so ready? Make America Great Again, or Keep America Great? I don't know. It's honestly, I love the idea of Keep America Great, because you know what it says is we've made it great, now we're going to keep it great, because these socialists will destroy it. You know, that we're doing great, but they can destroy what we've done. With the steel industry, look at what's going on with the steel industry in your district also, by the way, along with Caterpillar. They're building steel mills, 38 steel mills all over the land, renovation and a lot of new ones, because we decided to put the tariffs on dumped steel, mostly from China. What it's done is beyond anybody's expectation. It's like one of the hot things. And by the way, this country needs steel. We've got to have steel. You know, there are certain things you don't have to have, like, you know, making the suit. You don't have to have it. You have to have steel. We need it for defense. You have to have aluminum. And it's incredible what happened to those industries. So we will make the determination. And honestly, I get a good vibe on both, to be honest. I love the concept. We made it great, and now we're going to keep it great. But I hate the concept of throwing away the most successful theme, I think, probably in the history of politics. I mean, there's something a little stupid about that, right? Let's take MAGA and throw it out. So I have a feeling maybe we'll try and use both. How about that? We'll try and use both, because they're both good. You know. Hillary had a thing like stay together or some crap like that. I think she paid $1.9 million for the genius that gave her the line. I can honestly tell you I didn't pay. That was made up by me. That was made up by me. But they paid a lot of money, and then the first night, remember? We said, it's all about her. And they changed the theme the next morning. So that didn't work out too well. Her theme wasn't too good. It wasn't a success. But after 2 years of Republican leadership, and I have to tell you, we are truly winning again. Our country is winning again, and our country is respected again. And it's, I say, respected like rarely before, and we're hitting a new mark. But I say it's respected like rarely before. And with your help, we're restoring the bonds of loyalty and trust between our citizens and their government. And we're returning power to where it belongs, with the American people. To liberate our citizens from bureaucracy, we've slashed almost 30,000 pages of job-killing regulations from the Federal Register. That's an all-time record, no matter how long a president was in office. Let me see what I look like, huh? Good. I don't see much of a bald spot there. I'm always afraid to look in those cameras. And again, I want to thank, and he is a special man, he's a friend of mine, but, and I introduced him a little early, but I'm going to introduce him again because Kevin Brady and so many of the other fantastic Republicans that passed the largest tax cuts in the history of our country, and they're for the working families. We don't get credit for the working families part, but it's the largest tax cuts, and businesses are flowing back into our country because of those tax cuts and because of regulation cuts. So, Kevin, again, thank you very much. Really an incredible job. Thank you. And to everybody that worked with all of us, you know that, right? We doubled the child tax credit, and we virtually ended the unfair estate tax, also known as the death tax, on small businesses and farms. I tell people when I'm in farm country, I said, you know, now if you have a farm, they used to leave it and the kids would have to go out and borrow a lot of money because they make an income, but it's hard. The land is sometimes worth more than the income, and they go and borrow money and they end up losing it to a bank a couple of years later. It's not going to be worried about it any longer. Now they don't have the death tax. They don't have what's known as the estate tax. We got rid of it. Kevin did that with a whole group of very good people, and that's a big deal. That's a big deal. People are very happy. I always say jokingly, so now if you love your children, you can leave your farm or your small business to your children, and they don't have to go borrow money and take a risk. If you don't leave your children, if you don't love them, if you don't just really love them, it doesn't matter because you're not going to leave it to them anyway. So this tax doesn't mean a damn thing. This tax won't help you much. But most of them leave it to their children, I guess. To bring back American jobs, we slashed the business tax rate down from one of the highest anywhere in the developed world down to a number that nobody believed that we could get down to. We were at, if you really add it up, we were over 40%. It was an impossible situation. And you know, so many things are in that deal, like bringing back money. Billions and billions of dollars is pouring back into our country that could not get back here. It was impossible, not only because of the high tax rates, nobody would bring it back, over 40%, but also because of the bureaucracy, which we killed in our tax plan. So billions of dollars. Apple recently announced $230 billion is going to be brought back into our country from overseas that they would never have even thought of bringing back. And they're going to spend it building new facilities here. That's a lot, $230 billion. And we're fixing broken trade deals to protect the American workers, and we are standing up to China's chronic trading abuses and theft of intellectual properties and so many other things that they've done to us. I don't know how you people allowed this to happen for so many years. You've been here longer than me. But they really have. They've taken advantage of our country. And you know what? I respect them for it. I say it. We should have been doing that to them. I was in China making a speech. President Xi, who is a strong man, I call him king. He said, but I am not king. I am president. I said, no, you're president for life, and therefore you're king. He said, huh. He liked that. So I call him king. I get along with him great, but I was really hitting him hard about how they've hurt our country. And I had 5,000 Chinese people. I'm in China. I'm in Beijing doing this. Can you believe it? And I'm looking down. He's getting angrier and angrier. And then I saved it. I said, you know, I don't blame you. I blame the leaders of our country for allowing it to happen. And it's really true. We should never have allowed that to happen. And we're getting a lot of it back. You're going to see it. And your farmers, all of you representing farm territory, you know, I was with the vice premier about 2 weeks ago, and I said, you got to do me a favor, goodwill, because we have such a strong country right now, economically, stronger than anybody by far. You know, they were catching us. They would have caught us within a short period of time. They were catching us. Within 2 years, by the end of my term, if you had a normal president, I don't want to say that negatively, I think I'm very normal, but if you had a normal, you know what I mean. In other words, if you had a stiff as president, which most of them are, I hate to say, they would have caught us. But right now, it's going to be a long time before they catch us. A long time. I told you, they're down 38%. We're up 50. That made a lot of difference. That's like day and night. But we really have to be strong with these nations because these nations are taking advantage, not just China. Everybody has a trade surplus on us. Almost every nation in the world. When I took over, we lost 8. I said, how are we doing on trade? I want a breakdown. My first meeting. They said, sir, we're down $807 billion. I said, you got to be kidding. No, seriously. I thought they were joking, right? We were down 807. We're losing over $800 billion in trade. We're starting to turn it. We have the USMCA. I hope you guys can get it approved. I mean, the problem we have is that you have a very hostile group. You have a very, very hostile group on the other side. And they don't want to see us have success. And the USMCA is a great deal. It's great. Again, I said, if you don't do this, we're going to tariff every product coming out of your country at 25%. And every time I had a problem, I would just take, especially cars. I had a little plastic car on my desk. And I'd have the leaders come over, and I'd just take the car out, put it on the front of the desk. They say, OK, we agree. Because the big thing is the cars. Canada's sending us tremendous numbers of cars. They're practically untaxed. And yet they don't take our agricultural product in many cases, and in many cases they charge 297% tariffs. And it's very unfair. Canada is very, very tough. We love Canada. We think of the beautiful song and the ice hockey games. Oh, Canada, isn't it beautiful? But in the meantime, they knock the hell out of us on trade. And they have been doing it for a long time. And they're very tough. And they're not at all nice about that situation. But we've made them nice. We've made them nice. And they're not happy about what happened. But our farmers are going to be able to sell now into Canada, which they were restricted from doing. And they're going to be able to sell into a lot of places. And the vice premier said, when I said, give us a token of affection, he said, we will immediately buy 10 million tons of soybeans. And I looked at Sonny Perdue, who's doing a fantastic job, as you know, Secretary of Agriculture. I said, Sonny, is 10 million tons of soybeans a lot? He said, that's a lot. And they started buying 10 million. So the farmers are so incredible. And I saw them interviewed last week. They had a couple of farmers on. We love the farmers. I'll tell you, I'm never going to forget the farmers. They sort of got me here when you think. And they said, well, because China and various of these countries that we're rightfully doing numbers on, because we have no choice what they've done to us. But they're going to start buying at numbers that you've never seen before. But farmers said, we know how badly China has taken advantage of this country. And we may be getting a little bit hurt right now, but we're with the president all the way. They have every single farmer, every person I've seen, they have these focus groups. Every farmer has said the same thing. And the amazing thing about farmers? We had a little bit of a soft patch. And I called in a group of 15 or 20 representative farmers. And I wanted to give them help. I wanted to give them aid. And they looked at me and said, we don't want aid. We don't want it. And I said, what do you mean? Because I'm so used to having people come in wanting help, wanting aid, wanting whatever it is they want. And these people didn't want it. They just wanted me to make a fair platform. And I said, I'll never forget this meeting. I will never forget it. Because, again, I meet with a lot of different groups. And they're always asking for an advantage. Okay, I'm not blaming anybody. These farmers didn't want, they said, we don't want that, sir. We don't want any help. We just want really a level playing field. I thought it was incredible. I've told that story so many times. So we love our farmers. Let them know we're very close because you are going to have... In fact, when I asked China, and I'm doing that, that'll be the end of the negotiation. If we get there, and, let's see what happens. Who knows? I think we're doing very well. They need the deal more than we do. You see what's going on. They need the deal. And they're getting hurt badly with they're paying 25% on $50 billion worth of technology stuff. And they were going to pay 25% on another $200 billion. But I started them at 10 because I'm nice. And then we were dealing well. This was 3-4 weeks ago, you remember. And they said, would it be possible for you not to raise the 10% to 25%, which had automatically kicked in? I said yes, because, it's a little hard when negotiating with them when we start raising it. But after that, they have $340 billion left that I haven't even taxed, and their bullets are gone. Because we do $600 billion worth of purchases from them, and they do $97 billion worth of purchases from us. Not exactly great. But now they were paying for that, and they were paying big. One thing as an example, on cars, if they sold a car to us, we bring it in for no tax. It's 2.5%, but basically when you do certain paperwork and check the wrong boxes, you pay nothing. Stupid. When we buy a car from them, and we buy a lot of them, believe it or not, it's a 40% tax. So they get 40%, we get nothing. Other than that, it's been a very good deal. I get a call 2 months ago, toward the beginning of the negotiation, that they're bringing the 40 down to 15. I said, that's good, but it's still not zero. It's still not what we have. It's good. I'm not thrilled. I got a call but it's coming down. It's all coming down. I got a call from Prime Minister Modi of India. They're one of the highest taxing nations in the world. They tax us 100%. Look, he's nodding. You know what I'm talking about. They charge us 100% tariffs on goods. So they send a motorcycle, and they make a lot of them, Indian cycle. They send them to our country. We charge them nothing. We send a Harley Davidson to India, and they charge us 100%. Not fair, okay? Not reciprocal. It's not fair. And for those of you like Sean and where's Sean? Where the hell is my guy from Wisconsin? He's so great. Where is he? This guy's a champion. Him and where's Jim? 128. 128 and 1. Where the hell is Jim Jordan? Where is he? Is he here? 128. Where is he? This guy, NCAA. What a lousy location. Holy, are you kidding me? Wait, stand up again. I can't see you. It's too far away. I can't believe it. Wow, Jim, I've just lost all respect for Jim. That's 128 and 1 in NCAA wrestling champion. And when you're that good, don't kid yourself, folks. A lot of it's up here, not just here. A lot of it's right up here. And he's a warrior, and Sean's a warrior. And Sean now is working on the Reciprocal Trade Act. If they charge us, we charge them. Very simple. They charge us, we charge them. And I think you're doing great on it, Sean, and I appreciate it, man. Great job. But he's the tree climbing, these characters that go up the trees, then they come down. He said, no, going up isn't the hard part. It's coming down. Because if you miss, you're dead. And he said he's missed about 4 times. But he's the 5-time world champion going up a tree. Did anybody know that? See, to me, that means something. Because being a champion is something. And that's one that is tough stuff and dangerous stuff. So, listen, I appreciate your help, Sean. It's incredible. That's incredible. I'm still more impressed with the championship stuff, but that's up. So we've ended the war on American energy. The United States is now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world, and that all happened over the last 2 years. A big difference. Hillary wanted to put up wind. If you have a windmill anywhere near your house, congratulations. Your house just went down 75% in value. And they say the noise causes cancer. You told me that one, okay? The thing makes it so. And of course, it's like a graveyard for birds. If you love birds, you'd never want to walk under a windmill because it's a very sad, sad sight. It's like a cemetery. We put a little statue for the poor birds. It's true. You know, in California, if you shoot a bald eagle, they put you in jail for 5 years. And yet the windmills wipe them all out. It's true. They wipe them out. It's terrible. And I told the other day at CPAC, great people at CPAC, we had an incredible thing. I had nothing to do. It was early on a Saturday morning. I had just gotten back from dealing with Kim Jong-un. We had a walk. He wasn't ready for a deal. That's okay, because we get along great. He wasn't ready. I told him, you're not ready for a deal. That's the first time anybody has ever told him that and left. Never happened to him before. Nobody's ever left. But I said, you're not ready for a deal, but we'll make a deal. We have a good relationship. We have a good relationship. But I told a story about at CPAC, the woman, she wants to watch television. And she says to her husband, is the wind blowing? I'd love to watch a show tonight, darling. The wind hasn't blown for 3 days. I can't watch television, darling. Darling, please tell the wind to blow. No, wind's not so good. And you know, you have no idea how expensive it is to make those things. They're all made in China and Germany, by the way, just in case. We don't make them here, essentially. We don't make them here. And by the way, the carbon and all of the things flying up in the air, you know the carbon footprint? President Obama used to talk about the carbon footprint, and then he'd hop on Air Force One, a big 747 with very old engines, and he'd fly to Hawaii to play around the Gulf. You tell me, the carbon footprint. But that's the way it is. We have the greatest energy in the world. They wanted to take it away from us. They don't like that we have it. We've really discovered it over the last very short period of time. I've made it readily accessible. We're approving pipelines in Texas that would have taken 20 years. I'm getting them done in about 6 months. You guys all know that, the Texas guy. And by the way, if they're not good, if there's something wrong, if it's going to hurt our water, if it's going to hurt our air, we're not going to approve them. But you're going to know in 12 months instead of in 20 years. At the end of 20 years, you start off as a young man or woman, and now you're getting ready to retire, and they're getting ready to vote on your project, right? Whatever the hell it may be. You know, highways. Elaine Chao's doing a great job, by the way, our secretary. Great job. But highways, in many cases, would take 20 or 21 years to get approved. Think of it. In some cases, not even a highway, it's like a roadway. And I have it down now to 2 years. We got rid of so much of the waste and the stupidity. And you know, a lot of this happened because of consultants, environmental engineers, they call themselves. I've hired many of them. I've lost plenty of money with those guys. And I used to see them up in Albany. I'd say, how come you're here? Why are you here? You represent me. Why are you here? They're trying to get a bill passed that makes it harder to get permits, and my guy is there trying to get the bill because I have to pay him more money that way, my consultant. So we took down highways from, in many cases, 20 years till probably, we want to get it down to 1 year and then maybe get rejected. But you'll get it rejected quickly. You're going to know. It's like Jack Nicklaus is a friend of mine. He said, standing over a 4-foot putt, he never missed him. But he told me, Chichi Rodriguez, great putter, he'd get up, he was a character, and he'd just putt, get up, bing, get up, bing. Wouldn't take any time, get up, bing, he had an expression, miss it quick. You ever hear that expression? He was a character, miss it quick. I get up, miss it quick, but he didn't miss too many. But that's what we're doing. We're going to make sure that you get it, and if it doesn't work, we're going to let you know. There was a highway, small highway, in a state where some friends are in this room. It is 21 years. It was going to cost $5 million 21 years ago. Now it's going to cost $900 million, and it took 21 years to get it approved. And it used to be a straight line, right? So if somebody's a little tipsy, they had too many drinks, which is a bad thing, at least they could drive straight. Now, in order to get away from nesting turtles, rattlesnakes, and everything else, that highway is the craziest looking sucker you've ever seen. It's twice as long as it was supposed to be. My father and I would have designed it straight path, point to point, right? But it took, and it cost, I mean, literally almost hundreds of times more than it was supposed to cost. And it's dangerous. People are running into the curb. They don't know how, but they're running into things that they're not supposed to. So we're straightening things out. There are many, many stories like that. The great aircraft carrier, the Gerald Ford, I go to see it. And the catapult system, the catapult, that's where it throws the planes off. So the aircraft carrier is a slight problem. It was supposed to cost $3 billion. It ended up costing about $16 billion right now. It wasn't on my watch, but it's getting close. The President, Gerald Ford, big, the largest ship ever built, they say. It's a massive ship. So I get on there, but they're having trouble with the catapult system because it used to be steam. You've seen it, where the planes go off. Steam, old-fashioned, right? Old-fashioned. So they've decided to go magnetic. Never been done before. And electronic. So it's very, very complex. They have these brilliant guys from MIT, where my uncle was a professor, by the way, for 40 years, brilliant guy, Dr. John Trump. A lot of people find it hard to believe that I had a professor, one of the smartest people in the history of MIT, in my blood. You'd be surprised. A lot of things are surprising in life. But you have to go to MIT to figure out how this damn thing works. So I get to the boat. How's it go? Well, it's okay, sir, but we have a little problem with the catapult system. That's not, so good. When we have an aircraft carrier, you can't send planes off the damn thing. Historically, that has not proven to be a good thing for aircraft carriers. So I said, let me see. I didn't want to see the admirals. You get tired of the admirals, because this was a problem. I said, let me see the catapult people. They said, sir, you don't really want to do that. I said, yeah, those are the people that know what the hell they're doing. This thing is $900 million over budget to throw the planes off, and we could have had steam, and it would have been done, and we would have saved hundreds of millions of dollars. So I get the catapult guys, 5 guys come over. Yes, sir. What do you do? Sir, I've been a catapulter. By the way, he's more proud of being a catapulter than Kevin McCarthy, Kevin Brady, and all of you big, high-ranking Republicans are doing what the hell. They would be so bored doing what you're doing, dealing with Democrats all day. That's not fun. But I said, so what do you do? He said, I'm a catapulter. 20 years. Yes, sir. What would you like to know, sir? Very simple question. What's better, an electric catapult or steam? Sir, steam is better. I said, it's better. I said, why is it better? Well, for one thing, the electric goes faster, sir, but it takes you 2.5 minutes to bring the plane to the site. No matter what you do, it's still the same 2.5. So we don't have to send the plane off every second. By the time the steam builds up, we have plenty of time left. That's number one, sir. I can give you 10 other reasons, but another one, sir. If the steam breaks, I can fix it myself with a wrench. If the electronics breaks, sir, we have to send for Albert Einstein to try and fix it. We can't figure this damn thing out. I never saw. This is what happens. This is what happens. This is what happens, I hate to say it, when they make airplanes so damn complex that pilots can't fly them. This is what happens. Now, up to a point you want to go, but we have to be careful. We're spending money on things, and it's almost like they do it just to do it. And we want to be careful. We want to be smart. So we're getting that problem fixed, but it's a hell of a problem. We've confirmed 53 district court judges and 37 circuit court judges who are going to interpret the Constitution as written. Anybody not like that here? Not too many people in this room. I can tell you a lot of people in another room across the way. Along with 2 outstanding Supreme Court judges, Justice Neil Gorsuch and, as you know, Brett Kavanaugh, who was put through a grinder like nobody has ever been put through a grinder. That was so unfair. That was so unfair. And Congress passed, and I'm very proud of this. Where's Greg? Greg Wald. Greg, where are you? We worked hard on this. Greg! Greg! Right? You know what I'm going to say, Greg, because this is a great thing, and I hope nobody in this room has to do it, but, you know, right to choose, right? Right? We have a right. And we did something else with Greg and with everybody. We passed choice for our military. Choice. So we have in one case choice, we have another right to try, and I don't know if the people know what even right to try. I kept saying to myself, as I was a civilian, you don't want to use it, you don't want to use it, but I've had friends over the years, they're very ill, terminally ill, and if they have money, they travel all over the world looking for a cure. If they don't have money, they go home, and there's nothing they can do. And right to try, which Greg and everybody was so incredible with, and we got it done, right? That wasn't easy. You'd think it was easy, but you know, the country had a problem because they didn't want to be sued if it doesn't work. The insurance companies had a problem. The drug companies had a problem because they didn't want it on their record. So we said, well, I'll tell you what, we won't put these people that are so terminally ill, so sick, we won't put them on the record. They said, we like that. We have a separate category. We like that. And then the insurance companies had a tremendous problem, but the country did too. So I said, here's what we do. They have to sign a document that exculpates, that gets rid of all liability to our country because, you know, they don't make it and then they sue our country. And I could never understand why they didn't get this passed, because the law was we don't want to hurt people. So we don't want to give them a cure. We don't want to hurt people. And I'll tell you what, and for all of the people in this room and every one of you who's here, you can feel proud because we have had such success. We have saved lives already, and this is only 7 months ago that we signed it. We've saved lives already with people going, and what it does is it really does. I mean, it's the ultimate test for a drug or for a possible cure. What's better than this? It's been a tremendous success, so we got it done. It's something nobody talks about, but it's something that a lot of people respect. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. So thank you, Greg. That was a great job on that. And we passed VA accountability. So not only VA choice, they're standing in line for weeks and weeks in many cases. Weeks and weeks, think of it. And now, rather, these are great veterans. They stand on line, and now they go, they see a doctor, we pay for it. It doesn't matter. Number one, we do save money. It doesn't matter. We're saving lives. People are ill. By the time they get to the doctor, they're terminally ill, and we're saving lives. But we also have done so many other things for our veterans. And if you notice, there's not a lot of complaints coming out of the VA. For the first time, how long has it been since you've seen a VA that's really been well run? They're doing a phenomenal job. But accountability is great, where if they treat our veterans badly, we have now accountability. We say, get the hell out of here, you're fired. We fire them. You couldn't fire them. They could steal. They could be sadists. They were sadists. They were hurting our veterans. We couldn't do anything about it. And we also passed just now, some of you in the room were there with me a little while ago, criminal justice reform. And I'll tell you, a lot of people are very happy about that. A lot of people. And thanks to our bold agenda we enacted with House Republicans, America now has the hottest economy anywhere in the world. We're the hottest in the world. Wherever I meet a president, a prime minister, anybody, they say, congratulations on your economy. And since our election, we've created more than 5.3 million new jobs, including 500,000 jobs, and that number is going up to about 618,000 jobs very soon. These are manufacturing jobs that President Obama said will never happen. You'd need a magic wand. It's not going to happen. Well, it's happening. We have the magic wand. And more than 5 million Americans have been lifted off of food stamps because we have jobs now. Think of that. The numbers are staggering. 5 million off of food stamps. And after years of stagnation, wages are rising fast, and the lowest paid workers are making the biggest gains. This is something that you have to sell. The lowest paid people are actually doing the best. You don't hear that. You hear wealthy people. The lowest paid people are doing the best. More people are working now than at any time in the history of our country. 160 million almost 160 million. And unemployment has reached the lowest rate in 51 years. Think of that one. I mean, when you're on a stage debating, you know, when I did this the first time, I'm debating. I never debated like professionally before. My life is a debate. Your life is a debate. But I'm debating all of these people that I never saw before. And we never left center stage. But I had to say we were going to do things, but we hadn't done them. Now it's going to be so much easier because now I can say we did all these things that I said, and we did more. A commentator who's a Trump hater said recently, whether you like him or not, he has actually done more things than he promised. It's true. We've done more things than we promised. Many more things. Like this one. African American unemployment, Hispanic American unemployment, Asian American unemployment, and you know this because you've heard me say it and other people say it, and veteran unemployment, that's a great one, have all reached the lowest rates ever recorded in the history of our country. I mean, how do you beat that? When they talk about African American and what they want to do, I say, well, I have not much to say except that we've just hit the absolute lowest unemployment rate for African Americans in the history of our country. That's all I have to say. Goodbye, everybody. We won the debate, right? We won the debate. It should be easy. It'll be interesting to see. But don't underestimate the power of socialism to get a vote. It's what happens over a 10-year period when the country is destroyed. But they don't care about that. When they say we're going to give you free education, we're going to give you free health care, we're going to not have you pay your loans for college, we're going to give you free everything. Everything is free. It's very seductive to people. It's not going to be so easy like you think. Now, in 10 years, it's going to be easy when the country goes to hell, because that's what happens. The country goes to hell. Happened many times. Look at Venezuela. I mean, this was the richest country in that whole, outside of us, it was one of the richest countries in the world. And now they have no food, they have no electric, they have nothing. It's sad. And that's socialism. And a guy said, we're going to wipe out all costs for education. We're going to wipe out all health care. We're going to give you single payer. They don't say that you're going to wipe out 180 private plans that people love. But it's not as easy as people think. People think it's easy. It is easy in 10 years. It's not easy now. Because a lot of folks are going to say, hey, wait a minute, man, if I vote for Trump, I agree the economy is good, but this guy's giving me everything. Not that easy. So we have to work. We can never take it for granted. We have to explain how bad it really is. We have to do that. But this is a time of extraordinary opportunity for our nation, extraordinary. That's why in my State of the Union address, I asked new Democrat majority in the House to work with us to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, and I think we're going to have something, maybe we can do a bipartisan there, bring down the cost of health care and bring down the cost of prescription drugs. Bring down the cost. Thank you. I love that you're clapping for that because we have to talk quickly about health care. To have this power in this room, how often do you get that? And we are going to finally secure our nation's borders. It's happening right now. And I said to Mexico last week, you know, they have the strongest immigration laws in the world. They don't have judges. Somebody gets on their land, they say, get out of here. Now, somebody touches our land, we bring them into court. You need Perry Mason to represent them. They're here for years. They never come back for the trial. They say, let's bring them into court. Well, bring them in. Well, you just stepped on our property. Bring them in. Be gentle. Bring them into court. And it's called catch and release. It may be the dumbest program in the history of the world. You catch them and you release them. Oh, they're wonderful. We've done a great job. And then you're going to come back, sir, in 4 years from now, January 14th. You're going to come back and we're going to give you a trial to see whether or not you can stay. But in the meantime, we're releasing you into our country. Now, only 2% come back for the trial, okay? And those are not the smartest ones, to be honest with you. The ones that come back are not the smartest ones. The 98% are much smarter than the 2% that come back. It's terrible. But I said to Mexico, listen, you have the strongest immigration. They don't have courts. They don't have catch and release. They don't have chain migration. They don't have visa lottery, a lottery. You pick a lottery, oh, you're going to the United States. Congratulations, the country does this. Do you think they put their best people in those lotteries? What the hell were you people thinking when you approved these deals? They say, in all fairness, it is purely, that's a Chuck Schumer deal. That was when they had enough muscle. They got this stuff passed. It's incredible. Think of it. They put names in. You pick a name. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to announce so-and-so. I don't want to use names because I'll get in trouble because it's always somebody's going to leak this whole damn speech to the media, to the fake news. So I won't use the name that I'm thinking about. Congratulations. And then you find out he's a stone-cold killer. Served many years in jail. These are the people they give us. What do you think? Do you think they're going to give us their finest? They don't give us. And we take them in. Congratulations. Crazy CNN, they had a reporter. They're walking up. I mean, how bad? I mean, how bad? Now they're saying, we were never against him with respect to collusion. We were just reporting the news. You see that? That's their new theory, you know, that they weren't, in other words, that they were fair. Yeah, they were fair. But they're interviewing this group of people. And what are you coming to the United States for? A woman says, well, I'm coming for my daughter. Okay, that's very, what are you coming? Then they go to this man, a little rough looking. And what are you coming for? Asylum. Oh, why? I murdered someone. Oh, the woman goes like, what? You murdered? Anybody see that? I murdered someone, he said. Right? You saw it. And she's like, oh, man. Okay, back to headquarters, please. You know, because they're trying to say how good everybody is. These are wonderful people. And some of them are wonderful people. Remember when I made my first speech in Trump Tower, coming down the escalator with our great First Lady that everybody loves? Everybody loves our First Lady. And I talked about different things. And I mentioned the word rape. And everybody thought it was a great speech. And then about 2 days later, it was like sort of a delayed reaction. 2 days later, they said, he said rape. He said all sorts of, let me tell you, and I took heat. Do you remember the first 6 months? Man, were they killing me in that speech. It went from being a great speech to being a disaster. And now you look at that speech and you see what's happening. And that speech was so tame compared to what really is happening. That trek up from Guatemala and Honduras and El Salvador, it's one of the great dangerous treks anywhere. And Mexico has now, because they don't want the border closed, because Mexico makes a hell of a lot of money off us. They took 30% of our car business. I wasn't here. The new USMCA will stop that. No more car companies are going to Mexico when they sign this deal. No more car companies. That was the most important thing for me. So now Mexico, I said I'm closing, and I really wanted to close it. But now Mexico is saying, no, 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 first time in decades. We will not let anybody get through. And they've apprehended over 1,000 people today at the southern border, their southern border. And they're bringing them back into their country. I said, why the hell didn't somebody do that in the first place? But they don't want the border closed. And you know who else doesn't want the border closed? The Democrats. They don't want the border closed. And I agree, it's going to be a big toll. But trade and commerce and making money for our country, it's all very important. But to me, the most important job I have is the security of our country, even more important than those other things that I talk about a lot. It's the security of our country. Instead of choosing greatness for America, House Democrats responded with radicalism, resistance. Resist, that's their theme. Make America great again is ours. Theirs is resist. You don't know what the hell they're resisting. They go around saying resist, and they do resist. Revenge, crazy hoaxes like we just went through, and ridiculous conspiracy theories. We have just incredible when you see what is coming out. And while Republicans are working every day to empower the American people, the Democratic agenda is all about themselves. That's all they think about is themselves, okay? It's a disgrace what's going on. It's a disgrace. I said to somebody that's been here a long time, you people would know better than anybody, some of you that have been here, has it ever been this bad? And they said, well, they said, yes, it was. They said during the Clinton impeachment hearings, it was worse. They said there was another time in the 1880s when it was worse. A couple of people were shot, you know. Even you people wouldn't do that. And the Civil War, who could forget? I would say the Civil War was bad. And by the way, speaking of Civil War, where is Doug Collins? You're another warrior. Where's Doug Collins? Where the hell is Doug? Man, he's up there fighting. Doug, thank you, Doug. Warrior. Where's Mark Meadows? Another warrior. Where's Mark Meadows? Where the hell is... Oh, don't tell me he's got one of those bad seats. Are you with Jim Jordan? That's the Freedom Caucus. What the hell happened to you guys? They're great guys, they are. Everybody in this room, as far as I'm concerned. Nearly 100 House Democrats are promoting the biggest socialist takeover in U.S. history. That's what's happening. The Green New Deal, it'll cost $100 trillion. Nobody has any idea what that means, $100 trillion. I have wealthy friends, they say, write out $1 trillion. They have no idea. They just keep growing. Nobody has any idea. The Democrats are also proposing a massive government takeover of health care that would ban private health insurance. And that's a tremendous thing for us to run on because people want, we have 180 million people that want that. The Democratic plan would destroy American health care, bankrupt our country. Oh, forget it, not even close. And take away your private doctors. Now, I'm only afraid that we're going to be too hard on the Green New Deal, and they're not going to do it because I want them to do it. We don't want to have them knock it out before we get to run against it. So let's take it easy. I'm actually saying it's a wonderful thing. The Green New Deal, done by a young bartender, 29 years old. A young bartender, wonderful young woman. The Green New Deal. You know, but it's crazy. You know, the first time I heard it, I said, that's the craziest thing. You have senators that are professionals, that you guys know, that have been there for a long time, white hair, everything perfect, and they're standing behind her and they're shaking, they're petrified of her. We support the Green New Deal. How about the woman from Hawaii, the senator from Hawaii? Highly nice woman, right? Oh, I'm glad I didn't say it. I'm going to get great points from my wife for not saying that. But she was so angry to men, right? Remember, she was screaming at men. And then they asked her about the Green New Deal. I love it. They said, yeah, but you don't allow airplanes anymore, so you can't get to Hawaii. Oh, we have to work on something. So somebody jokingly said, we'll build a train to Hawaii, and she actually thought it was a decent idea. So now she supports it because she thinks they're going to build a train to Hawaii. But they really believe this stuff. And you know, it's like, it's the craziest thing. They believe it. And we will have to do something. But don't do it too early, please. Don't kill it. Because we want to be able to run against it. If they beat me with the Green New Deal, I deserve to lose. Sure. And just to finish up, and this is so important, and you know, I'm doing this almost as let's get together and talk because we have to win. We have to take back the House. We have to. There's no reason to have lost it. And what really lost it and really helped us lose it was health care. because we didn't have an alternative. We just said, well, let's not talk. Somebody came out the other day. They asked a Republican 2 weeks ago, health care, and he turned off the mic. Well, I'm going home now. You can't do that. You got to confront it. We'll be the party of health care. Republicans should not run away from health care. You can't do it. You're going to get clobbered. And I have an idea, and I think it's great. I spoke with Kevin about it. I spoke with a lot of your really top people, smart people, and they love it. I spoke with the Senate about it. I spoke to Mitch about it. Mitch didn't like it, but then he found out when we're taking the vote, right after the election. He said, oh, I like that idea. And I understood why he didn't like it at the beginning, because it's been a tough subject. It's been a subject, stay away. If we stay away from that subject, we're going to lose. We're going to lose. We can't stay away. It's too important. It's too important. Because the Democrats, you know what? We have the border. We have, if you look at it, we have the immigration, but we have a lot. We have the crime. We have the police. We have the military. We have so much. They have health care right now. We have to take that away from them. We take that away. We take that away. We will not even come close. So here's the concept. We have to protect and cannot run away from a thing called pre-existing conditions. We can't do it. You're going to get clobbered. A friend of mine is running in a certain state. I'm not going to embarrass him. He's got a 20-point lead. He's running for governor. 20-point lead, it's over. About a month later, I say, hey, the election hadn't taken place. I said, how is it going out there? How's he doing? Sir, he's 20 points down. Wait a minute. He was 20 points up. What are you talking about? No, sir. Right now, he's 20 points down. He's getting killed. I said, why? Because he wanted to terminate pre-existing conditions. Well, that was a poll. This is a guy, he ended up getting clobbered. He had an easy race. He was already buying the carpet for the mansion. Not our mansion, a different mansion. And guess that didn't work out too well. And I'll never forget 5 governors sitting in front of me. I was making a speech, very conservative governors. And I said, because I hadn't really taken a position, but I think we have to go with the pre-existing. And I'm making a speech, and we will support, and the Republicans cherish pre-existing conditions. And these 5 Southern guys down there, they're looking at it, what the hell was that all about? What? And I told them, I said, we have to support it. We should support it. We're doing the right thing. And if you don't support it, you have no chance of winning. I mean, I just want to be blunt. You have no chance of winning. The Democrat plan will be devastating to the people with pre-existing conditions. We have great talking points. The Republican Party will be the champion of pre-existing conditions. You have to do it. Some of you like it, some of you don't, but you're going to have to like it. Not only for politics, it's the right thing. We want to be the party of great health care. I am right now working with people, and here's the key to all of it. I'm right now working with people in this room, knowledgeable leaders in Congress, and with experts in the administration. I have a couple of people, one in particular, who is a total health care genius. This person knows more about health care and loves the subject, loves it. To come up with a great health care plan that is far less costly to the people, not to the government, to the people, far less costly than Obamacare, with deductibles that are far lower. The deductibles are so high that nobody gets to use it unless you're in serious condition, so serious that, frankly, the last thing on your mind is health care. I will be asking that this be my first vote. Immediately after the election, we are going to regain the House because of health care and other things. The border, the military, the police. They're for open borders and crime. We're for great borders and merit-based immigration. Merit-based, so they can help our country and help our companies that are all moving into our country and need people to work. We're going to keep the Senate, and we're going to keep the presidency, and we're going to bring back the House. So essentially what I'm saying is we're going to come up with a health care plan. We're not going to vote on it until after the election. We'll all promise it's going to be our first vote because we blew it the last time. Man, I was fed a bill of goods. I want to tell you, some of you, I'm still a little bit angry, but not all of you. It wasn't even your fault. But we should have done it when we had the position. But we're going to get it back. And it's going to be a better plan. So we're going to give a great health care plan. And we're going to go and campaign on that plan with the understanding that if we win, it's going to be much less expensive than Obamacare and much more usable in terms of deductibles. And what's going to happen is we're going to promise the people that if you vote for us and if you vote for you, all of you running, that we're going to vote for this, it's going to happen, but we have to get back the House. You know what? You're going to win back the House. I think it's going to be one of the strongest things you have. Because people don't like Obamacare. We forgot about it. We had a very, very unfortunate vote by somebody. We were close. We were so close. One vote away. One vote away. But it didn't work. But this is going to be something, I think, that has even more potential. It's going to be a better plan. I already know what they're doing with it. And we're going to use it. We're going to campaign on that plan. And it's so much better than Obamacare. Now, here's your alternative. Turn off whatever they talk about health care. I don't want to talk about it. Oh, it's a bad, because, you know, I know it's a tough subject. But we have a great advantage here, and we vote right after the election. It's going to get a lot of people elected, and you're going to be doing the right thing. Additionally, we'll be knocking the Democrats' socialistic single-payer health care plan with all of the disastrous flaws, including all of those great Americans that are going to lose their plan. Remember, you can have your doctor, you can have your plan. I mean, so many lies, so many lies. So you're going to be campaigning against very negative things. You're going to win your elections because of health care. And a lot of people were upset with me because I announced this like a week ago, and I didn't want to waste my time by calling people. I didn't want to call the leaders other than Kevin. I'd be afraid not to call Kevin. But I didn't call people. They said, well, I don't know anything about it. I blame myself a little bit. But now they love it. They really like it. You're going to get elected because of it, and you're going to be doing the right thing. It's a great incentive for the voters to vote for you. So instead of when they ask you a health care question, say, I'd rather not answer that question. Well, what about pre-existing? Alice, take me home, Alice. They're asking me about pre-existing. Alice, please take me home. And then you get clobbered. You got a plan that's a much better plan. And it's going to be your first vote when you get back to Washington. The radical Democrats are also aggressively pushing extreme late-term abortion, allowing children to be ripped from their mother's womb right up until the moment of birth, right? Who ever heard of this stuff? I had it in the debate. I never used the term ripped. It was my term. And people that have been working on this on our side for years said, it was an incredible moment. I didn't use that term. I never heard of that term. I thought of it during the debate because Hillary Clinton was so staunch on abortion and rights abortion. And I said, according to Hillary, in the 9th month, you can rip. That's where it came up. Does anybody remember that debate? They say that was like a big moment. You can rip the baby out of the womb and kill the baby. But now it's gotten worse because this maniac, the governor from Virginia, he comes up and says, now the baby is born. And you wrap the baby gently. And then you talk to the mother. And depending on what the mother says, you execute the baby. Can you imagine? Who ever heard of it? I never even heard of this one. I've heard of 9th month, which is horrible. I've heard of 5th month and 4th month. This is the baby is now born, and the mother will make a decision as to whether or not that baby will be essentially executed. And he said that. He said that. And he said some other things that were unrelated to that, which were bad, and believe it or not, which were covered even more so than that, which I couldn't believe that it was. His other thing, you know what that was? was covered more importantly in the media than that. And what can be more important than that? That's why I've called on Congress to pass legislation banning the late-term abortion of children who can feel the pain in their mother's womb. And you know, it's always been a very close issue. It's been for many, many years. It's been a 50-50 issue. I don't know if you saw, it was so horrible and so extreme what the Democrats in New York, you saw what was happening, they're all applauding. It was so horrible that you gained 11 points in the poll. This is the first time. It's no longer, it was a 49-51 issue for for decades. It never really changed. It would go from 51 to 49, back and forth. You just picked up 11 points because of how extreme that was. It was so terrible. Democrats are the party of high taxes, open borders, late-term abortion, crime, hoaxes, delusions. Whenever House Democrats are ready to abandon their extremism, the Republicans here tonight are ready to work with them to deliver a much better future for all of our citizens. We're willing to work together. I told Nancy Pelosi the other day, I was with her, it was a nice conversation. Unfortunately, every time we have a great conversation, she then goes out and does a news conference and she says I'm a terrible human being. I don't figure that, but I guess that's called politics. Every day, we're restoring America's strength at home, and we are restoring our nation's standing all over this world. 2 years ago, ISIS controlled more than 20,000 square miles of territory in Iraq and Syria. I was told that it would take at least 2 years from 1 month ago to get the caliphate at 100%. You saw that. My generals that I got rid of told me it would take 2 years to get 2%. I went to Iraq. I stayed in the White House for almost 4 months. The only time I left was to go to Iraq. I'll tell you, if you have to get cabin fever, getting cabin fever in the White House is still a good place. But I went to Iraq and I met the generals, and one general said, "Sir, we can do it in 1 week." I said, "Wait a minute." They said, 2 years. They said, "That's because we're hitting them at a much different level." And we did it, and we now have 100% of the ISIS. It's been completely obliterated. And that doesn't mean you don't have cells and these crazy people. I got to say it, because you saw it. You can never say we won, because if you say we won and then somebody blows up a store, some crazy maniac, but we just beat the hell out of them. And we're trying to now beat them at the internet, because there's nobody better at the internet than them. I don't know if you saw recently, I put some social media that they're losers, that they're dead, that if you join them, you will be killed just like they're killed. We got to beat them at their own game, folks. It's not a very nice game. And they don't surrender. When we had them, I was telling Kevin McCarthy, when we had them 4 or 5 days ago, they were cornered. They don't know what it is to be cornered, because they always had free reign. They don't have free reign with me. And we flew over with brand new F-18s, Super Hornets. And they're going 2,000 miles an hour over and over for 2 days. And I said, do these people ever, like, wave the flag? Do they ever surrender? And the general, Raisin Cane, his name. What's your first name? You know this. Sir, my first name is Raisin. This guy's out of Central Casting. I'm telling you, there's nobody in Hollywood that can look like this guy, because he's much tougher. That I can tell you. I said, what's your name? Raisin. What's your last name? Cane. I said, you mean your name's Raisin Cane? Yes, sir. That's the guy that told me. I said, so my people tell me 2 years. What do you think? 1 week, sir. I said, General, come here, give me a kiss. I felt like Joe Biden. Yeah. But I meant it. See, I meant it. Big difference. I meant it. So we knocked him out, and we now have knocked him out. and we have, but I always say you have some crazy people around nevertheless. Together, we're also fully rebuilding the American armed forces, and you're doing that. What you're doing is incredible. Because without that, the other things might not matter. It's a rough time in this world. I withdrew the United States from the disastrous Iran nuclear deal, and Iran is a different country. When I first came here, Iran was going to take over the Middle East, and there was no stopping them. And I took out of that deal, I terminated that deal, and they have gone to hell. That's a different country. They have riots, their economy's collapsed. It was a horrible, stupid deal. We gave them $150 billion, and they used it to fight us. We gave them $1.8 billion in cash, airplane loads of cash. And I recognized the capital of Israel, and we opened the American embassy in Jerusalem for $1 billion under budget. $1 billion under budget. We were going to spend $1 billion to build it. I got it done for $400,000. Think of that. So I saved $1 billion. I took a building that we already owned, on land that we already owned. Somebody said, what's the difference between that piece of land and the piece that we were going to spend a fortune to buy? I said, the difference is it's much better. It's a better location and it's a much bigger site. Other than that, they were very similar. And to support Israel's security, just last week, and this has been going on for 58 years, I recognized fully Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights. 58 years they've been talking. They've had committees, they've had meetings, they've had 32 different meetings. And it's talk, and they never do it. So we did it. And I'll tell you what, I don't know about the United States. I think we're doing well, but I can run for the Prime Minister of Israel. That's what they tell me. I think I'm at 98% in Israel. You better be careful. I'll leave here and I'll go run in Israel. The United States has also taken decisive action against the brutal socialist dictatorship in Venezuela. That's a horrible situation. And America once again stands with the people of Cuba, Nicaragua, and Venezuela in their righteous struggle for freedom, and we're helping them out. So we're gathered here tonight at a very pivotal moment in our nation's history. That's true. This is a very important moment. You know, we have forces going against this country from within that can destroy this country. If we lose this election, you know, when I go out to make a speech, I meet people. I don't get to see too many people, but I meet people backstage going on. And they'd say to me, thank you, sir, for saving our country. They're talking to all of us, by the way. Thank you, sir. A man came up to me a week ago. We were in Michigan. We had a tremendous crowd in Michigan, right? Is that right? That's a good group. Great crowd. And this guy looked like he never cried in his life. He looked like a football player, big, strong guy. And he was pouring down tears as I'm getting up ready to speak. I'm walking by, and he was there. And he said, sir, thank you for saving our country. And I used to be surprised, because I've been hearing this for a year and a half. I used to be surprised. You know, it's a big statement. And they're oftentimes crying. And they're people that don't cry. These are not criers. These are people that are real stalwarts. They're not crying. Nothing wrong with crying, but they often are crying. And I've heard it so much. We have an election coming up that if something bad should happen with this election, we could lose the country. We really could, because these people are stone cold crazy. What they want to do to our country would be overwhelming. It would be horrible. So we have no choice. We have to win. We really have to win. Now, it could be they start moving in a different direction, but I don't think so. It looks like they're only moving one way. The majority of American people support our common sense agenda, and Americans do not want to risk their prosperity or our prosperity They don't want to risk their children's future. They don't want to risk their wealth. They don't want to risk their 401ks, where they're up 50, 60, 70, 80%. I talk about it all the time. They feel like financial geniuses. They've never been there before. And we're going to explain to them that your 401k will disappear. You're not going to have anything. We have a lot of great things going. So the Democrat program of radical socialism and open borders, if we are good and if we are smart and if we do our job, it cannot work. It's not going to work because our people are doing too well. The choice has never been clearer. The Republican Party is the party for all Americans. We really are. We have changed this party so dramatically, folks. I say all of us, not just me. I've been important. You've been just as important. We're now the party of the American worker. Did you ever hear? When I started doing this, we were like the party of the rich person, and we were losing. There were not enough rich people. We're now the party of the American family, and we're the party of the American dream. It's true. You are. In South Carolina, when I was going against a lot of different people, there were 12 people left. And I'll never forget, somebody came down and said, "You have no idea what you've done." Thousands and tens of thousands of people are joining the Republican Party. This never happened. They've never seen it before. And this happened in New Hampshire. It happened all over. It happens in Florida. It's happening now in Florida. I mean, I don't like to talk about leads too early, but we have an incredible lead in the state of Florida. We have an incredible lead in the state of Ohio. We have a great lead in Pennsylvania, in North Carolina, in South Carolina. I mean, we have leads. Now, you always have to be very careful because you have, on occasion, seen leads disappear. But we're not going to let that happen because we have the far better ideas, the far better platform. And I know many of the people in this room, we have the far better and more talented people. You are the people I'm talking about. And we believe in the American Constitution, and we believe in the rule of law. We believe in the dignity of work and the sanctity of life. We believe that faith and family, not government and bureaucracy, are the true American way. We believe in religious liberty, the right to free speech, and the right to keep and bear arms. We believe that children should be taught to love our country, honor our history, and always respect our great American flag. And we believe in the words of our national motto, "In God we trust." We're not going to lose that. We're not going to lose that. People want to play with that. They're not playing with that one. They want to play with that. You know that. We're not playing with that one. In God we trust. We fight on behalf of hardworking citizens who pay their taxes, follow our laws, raise their children, protect our communities, and made this the greatest nation ever to exist on the face of the earth. And we're doing better now than we've done in decades and decades and decades. This land is our home. These American patriots have always been loyal to our country, and we will forever be loyal to them, forever. Every day for the next 19 months, we will keep on fighting, we will keep on working, and we will keep on winning, winning, winning for the American people and for yourselves. And for yourselves and your families. With your help, on November 3rd, 2020, Republicans are going to win the House, we are going to win the Senate, and we are going to again win the White House. Thank you. Thank you. And together with the love, prayers, and devotion of everyone in this really warm and incredible room, and millions of patriots across our land, we are going to make America great again. We are going to make America greater than it's ever been before. And we are going to do it not just for you, not just for your friends. We are going to do it for all Americans. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America. Thank you, everybody.
Shout out to everybody watching the live show. You know what time it is. See you, I see you, I see you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for smashing the like button. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the new subscribers. Look, this were the good old days when things were much more affordable. Inflation was low, gas prices was low, mortgage prices was about 2.7 to 2.9%, and now everything is going wild. Back in the day when Ukraine, the Israeli people, the Palestinian people, the Russian people had no beef. Okay, even though Russia has always had beef with Ukraine, but there was no attempt in going in because they know a leader like Donald was in the White House. However, we're back to no strength in the situation going on right now. But hopefully in November, you cast your vote and you make a decision to put him back in the White House. Because, look, I am an independent voter, but I will be voting for Trump because I like his policies. I believe he's going to make America affordable again. And now that he has RFK in in partnership with him and Tulsi Gabbard, bro. Justice League, bro. Anyway, next video, let's get it. Thank you all. I see you, T Black, Richard, Neil Book Truck. Neil Book Truck, you know what time it is. LB Things, you know what time it is. Man, everybody. Man Flips, my boy. Everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody subscribing. Steph, I see you.
Well, thank you very much. That was great. We just had a nice Thanksgiving dinner. I thought I was going to be having it someplace else, and Senator Barrasso is a great friend of mine. He said, that would be great if we did it. I said, you come with me, John, and he came with me. John, thank you very much. Great friend of ours, a great senator and a great man. And I want to thank General Milley, special warrior. He's a special warrior. And I want to congratulate you also, because I just saw some numbers that are incredible. ISIS, you're wiping them out left and right. There's almost nothing left in this area. You're not going to be lonely. And Al-Qaeda, the same thing. And tremendous progress. And, you know, we have a very special friend of ours that's here. We had a meeting a little while ago. I said, would you like to come over and say hello to the troops? And he said, that would be such an honor. And I think what I'll do is, before I start, I'll bring up the president of Afghanistan. President Ghani is here. So please, Mr. President, we'd love to have you say something. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, Mr. President, great American troops, great patriots, happy Thanksgiving. It's an occasion for us to be especially thankful because the President of the United States is here, and he has been the architect of the South Asia strategy and the strategy for wiping out Al-Qaeda and Daesh. Thanks to your support and the bravery of the Afghan soldiers, we've inflicted an incredible defeat on ISIS in Nangarhar. Last week it was Ningrahar. In the next 3 months, it's going to be all of Afghanistan. Equally, with your support, what we have done to wipe out Al-Qaeda South Asia is tremendous, and thank you. President Trump, people talked a lot about bin Laden, but what you did to eliminate al-Baghdadi, who was an organizer and not a talker, is much greater accomplishment. Congratulations. I would also like to take this occasion to say thank you to the Gold Star families. 2,298 American men and women in uniform have paid the ultimate sacrifice. This nation will always be grateful for that sacrifice, and we will always remember it. And also, 20,585 have been wounded. But since President Trump has been President of the United States, fortunately, we still too high a number, but only 52 American men and women in uniform have died. Compared to thousands before, this is a tribute to our joint partnership and to the sacrifice that the Afghan soldiers, your brothers and sisters in uniform, are making. More than 1 million Americans have served here in uniform. We pay tribute to their families and to your families. I would like a special request. Please thank your families for agreeing to miss you at this special occasion at home and for being here defending United States security and our freedom. Together, we will succeed. We will never forget that 9/11 brought us, and we will never permit the repetition of 9/11 again. God bless you. God bless the President.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Would you like to stay here, or would you like to go? No, right up here. Please.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. 52 compared to thousands, and we're doing a tremendous job. And as you know, a big part of that job is ISIS, certainly the biggest, and Al-Qaeda, and we've got them down very low numbers. We'll have that totally taken care of in a very short period of time, and we'll see what happens. The Taliban wants to make a deal. We'll see if they want to make a deal. It's got to be a real deal, but we'll see. But they want to make a deal. And they only want to make a deal because you're doing a great job. That's the only reason they want to make a deal. So I want to thank you, and I want to thank the Afghan soldiers for really, I've spoken to a lot of you today, and you say they're really fighting hard. I was very impressed with that, actually, so I want to thank you. And General Milley, again, to be at Bagram Airfield, I've heard so much about. It's an incredible place. This is some airfield, some fortress. I want to thank all of the Afghanistani troops. We have a lot of them here, actually. We have a number of them standing around, saying hello and waving, and we appreciate it. And I also say to you, just at ease, let's just enjoy ourselves for a couple of minutes. I'm going to introduce a few people. But there's nowhere I'd rather celebrate this Thanksgiving than right here with the toughest, strongest, best and bravest warriors on the face of the earth. You are indeed that. You know, when I took office, if you can believe it, almost 3 years ago, we were very depleted. Our military was depleted in terms of equipment, you see, right? They're all shaking their heads, that's right. We have all those brand new planes and brand new helicopters and brand new ships being built now, brand new incredible submarines. Probably the most powerful submarines, probably the most powerful weapon in the world is what we're building. The form of submarines. Nothing's even close. But we have things that nobody's seen, nobody's heard about, and we'll keep it that way. But we've spent 2.5 trillion, very close to that number. And very shortly it'll be at $2.5 trillion. And while I don't love that, what that does to my budget, because I'm a budget person, we don't have a strong military. Budgets don't matter much, do they? Huh? Not going to have to worry about budgets. So with what's going on in the world today, very important. $2.5 trillion. And nobody beats our great Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard, Marines, and we think soon we're going to be adding a thing called space. You know about that, right? Space. We're going to have space covered very well. We're covering it now, but we have to cover it to a much greater extent, and you'll be hearing about that in the coming days and weeks. I've just come from serving Thanksgiving dinner to some of you. I recognize already some of you in the audience, and with General Milley and the folks. And we had a good time. I then got down, I sat down, I had a gorgeous piece of turkey, and I was all set to go, and I had some of the mashed potatoes, and I had a bite of mashed potatoes. And I never got to the turkey because General Milley said, "Come on over, sir, let's take some pictures." I never got to my turkey. It's the first time in Thanksgiving that I've never had anything called turkey, but that's okay. But it looked awfully good, I have to tell you that. I should have started with that instead of the mashed potatoes. I made a mistake. But I hope everyone enjoyed the fantastic meal. It certainly did look good, and hopefully everyone can get some well-deserved rest this holiday. Your family, they're home, and they love you so much. We flew 8,331 miles to be here tonight for one simple reason: to tell you in person that this Thanksgiving is a special Thanksgiving. We're doing so well. Our country is the strongest economically it's ever been. We have never done so well. We have the greatest economy anywhere in the world. So it's nice to know that you're fighting for something that is doing well as opposed to something that was not doing well just a number of years ago. Our stock markets reached the highest level ever in the history of the exchanges, all three. If you look, all three. It's incredible. It's incredible what's happening. It just broke a record. I think it's close to 130 days, so we're less than 3 years. And 130 times we've broken the all-time record. And to me, that doesn't mean an all-time record. It means something different. It means jobs. It means 401ks. People come up to me with their 401ks. They say, "Sir, you've made me look like a genius. Thank you very much." They're up 78%. They feel good. So I would just want to say that we thank God for your health and all of the things that you've done. You are very special people, and you don't even know how much the people of our country love and respect you, and they do. That's why I'm here. I'm just bringing the message. The courageous American warriors in Afghanistan and across the region are leading the fight to vanquish America's enemies and defeat forces of radical Islamic terrorism. I would say it so often during the campaign. That's what we're doing. Together, we're making tremendous progress. Just a few weeks ago, as you know, and as President Ghani mentioned, U.S. Special Forces brought the world's #1 most wanted terrorist to justice. When the president said more important than Osama bin Laden, I would say that, look, different in a way. He was an organizer. Al-Baghdadi was an organizer. He was the founder of ISIS. He was the father, if you want to call him that, of ISIS. I think he wasn't so happy 3 weeks ago when he saw those incredible 67 men, in that case, just come pouring down onto where he was staying, and that didn't work out too good. And we have a new national hero. You know who that is, right? Conan. Conan is our new great hero. And Conan was at the White House the other day. You might have seen it. And it was something. But the animal known as al-Baghdadi, the founder, the leader of ISIS, the man that was trying to reinstitute ISIS, because we have 100% of the ISIS caliphate in Syria is now ours. He is dead. His second is dead. His third, we have the sights on the third. I think the third doesn't want the job. The third is saying, you know what, maybe I'll go work at a store or something. But Baghdadi was a savage and soulless monster who raped, tortured, and slaughtered the innocent, including many, many Americans. When you saw those folks, those great people in the orange jumpsuits, oftentimes standing on a beach with a thug behind him and a big knife, that was all al-Baghdadi, but he's gone. The American warriors hunted him down, they executed a masterful raid, and they punched his ticket to hell. That's what happened. Shortly after we got Baghdadi, we focused on some other elements in the area, and we also started leaving the area because it's secure, but we didn't leave it totally. We kept the oil. Makes sense, right? I've been saying for a long time, keep the oil. Hate to say it, I used to say it with a place called Iraq, too. Keep the oil. They didn't listen to me. I was a civilian. They didn't listen. Now they have to listen. But we kept the oil. And we kept it, and we can help the Kurds. We can help our partners. We can have it developed. It's where they got their wealth. That's where they got their money. We kept it. So we'll go back in when we have to as it arises, but 100%. We have thousands of prisoners. We'd like Europe to take those prisoners. They have not stepped up to the plate at all. Many come from France. Many come from Germany. They come from different countries in Europe. They have not stepped up to the plate. That's not good. We have to talk to them, John, because they should be taking those people back and trying them. And if we didn't do it, they'd go back to France, and they'd go back to Germany and to UK and to all of the places where they came. That's where they want to go back, and they should take them. Weeks ago, we also announced that the forces are coming back. They're coming back home. We're reducing over here, but because of technology and all of the things that we have, we're able to reduce in Afghanistan, very substantially actually reduce, and do even more devastating attacks on the enemy. So that's part of the $2.5 trillion that we have coming. Finest equipment in the world. We build the greatest equipment anywhere in the world by far, and we're selling that equipment now to many, many countries that are our allies. The enemies, we decide usually not to do it. History has said, don't sell the good equipment to the enemy. Our message to the bloodthirsty terrorists is clear. You will not escape your wretched fate, because the long reach and the really awesome power of the United States military is unstoppable. We have the most powerful military in the world by far. There's nobody close, and we're going to keep it that way. We're going to keep it that way. This evening, as millions of families sit down at their dinner tables back home, they'll be saying a prayer for the men and women serving our nation in Afghanistan and deployed all around the globe. Great men and women all around the globe. Many are coming home. Our citizens know that you're standing guard, killing terrorists, crushing our enemies, and keeping America safe, really safe. But you're also keeping it strong and proud and mighty and free. And I'm here today to just really say happy Thanksgiving, but also thank you very much. Great job. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Appreciate it. Very much appreciate it. As president, I have no higher honor than to serve as commander-in-chief of the United States military, the greatest force for peace and justice in the history of the world. This evening, I also want to express the profound and heartfelt gratitude of the entire American nation for our amazing military families, because they really do make you what you are when you think of it. Anybody here disagree with that? Raise your hand, please. Nobody has the courage to raise your hand. You have a lot of courage, but not that kind of courage, right? No, but it's true. The families, they make you great. The extraordinary commitment and the sacrifice of your loved ones make it possible for all of our families to live in safety and to live in peace. I especially want to recognize several of the incredible patriots with us tonight. These are great fighters, great warriors, great people, great men and women. You've already met Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. It was my honor to appoint him. I had no doubt from the day I met him very early on, and I said, I like that man. He's a tough cookie and he's smart. You know, he went to Princeton. I said, I don't know. I didn't know he was an academic, and he went to Columbia. I'm not sure, was that a good thing or bad? I don't know. Did I like it or not? I was sort of, but that's pretty good. That means he's an academic. That means he's a smart cookie, and he is a smart, and he's a tough one. General Mark Milley. Thank you, General. Thank you, General. He's an academic. I can't believe it. He's a great gentleman. Commander of the Resolute Support in U.S. Forces, Afghanistan, General Scotty Miller. He's done an incredible job. Thank you, Scotty. Thank you, Scotty. Incredible job. And I hope the word gets out, and I hope the press, which is right back here, they traveled with us, I hope they're able to get the word out as to what Scotty and all of the folks have done with respect to ISIS and with respect to al-Qaeda. He said, they don't want to fight us, sir. They don't want to fight us. But, you know, what we've done over the last 12 months, 6 months and 12 months, but over the last 12 months has been incredible. And I hope that the media is able to tell our families, tell our friends, tell our citizens, tell the people of the United States the success that we've had. Because people don't read about that. They don't read about it. Commander of Bagram Airfield, Brigadier General Brian Walford. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Great, Brian. Commander of the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing, Brigadier General Scott Jobe. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Scott. Commander of Area Support Group, Afghanistan, Colonel David Raw. Thank you, David. Good job, David. Thank you. U.S. Forces, Afghanistan, Chief of Staff, Colonel Chip Daniels. Chip, thank you. And let's not forget our senior enlisted officers, senior enlisted advisor to the chairman, Command Sergeant Major John Wayne Troxell. John Wayne. Thank you, John. Thank you. Command Senior Enlisted Leader of U.S. Forces, Afghanistan, Command Sergeant Major Timothy Matheny. Timothy, thank you. Thanks, Timothy. Senior Enlisted Leader of Bagram Airfield, Sergeant Major Jason Huckabee. Jason, thank you. Thank you, Jason. And Chief Master Sergeant David Dixon of the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing. Where is he? Chief Master David Dixon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. David Dixon. Also with us, our National Security Advisor, Robert O'Brien, doing a great job. Ambassador John Bass. And I introduced already one of the great, great patriots of our country, John Barrasso of Wyoming. Great state, Wyoming. Thank you, John. With the help and the devotion everyone has given here tonight, America is winning again. We are winning like we have not won in a long time. And you know what? We're respected like we haven't been respected in a long time. America is winning again, and America is respected again, and respected at the highest level. We're investing so much money in our military, and we're not going to stop until it's totally rebuilt and complete. Along with a record investment in our military, we've also got your largest pay raise in over 10 years. And I'm very pleased to report that starting January 1st, you will be receiving another 3.1% pay raise. And if anybody doesn't want it, if anybody doesn't want it, just sign up at the door and we'll take it away, okay? Make it a contribution. Here in the region, we're boldly confronting America's adversaries and pursuing a foreign policy focused squarely on our national interests. Less than 3 years ago, ISIS controlled the vast reaches of territory in Iraq and Syria. Today, the U.S. Armed Forces and our allies have totally obliterated ISIS and its caliphate. And, you know, I was going to leave. We were down to 98%. And I have to say this, when I came in, again, less than 3 years ago, it was a mess. They were all over the place. And I was about set. We'll leave now. We're at 97, 98%. And I got a lot of bite back from people that frankly would have been very happy to leave if it was anybody else but me. They said, why don't you finish the job? These are people that would have loved. But you know what? I said, maybe they're right. And we finished the job. We did it very, very quickly and very surgically. So that job is finished. We liberated more than 3 million civilians from that brutal reign. I've also taken action to confront the corrupt and terror-supporting dictatorship in Iran. And in Afghanistan, our warfighters continue to serve heroically to stamp out terrorism and to eviscerate the enemies of civilization, because that's what really they are. They're enemies of civilization. Right here at Bagram, your logistical hub for all forces in Afghanistan, you are absolutely essential to victory. From this base, the unrivaled aviators of the U.S. Air Force deliver unmatched firepower across the region. When our enemies hear the sound of your jets, those brand new, beautiful jets, they hear the sound of those jets. We don't put too many environmental controls on those jets. Because if it takes away 4% of what we need, we want the 4%. Do you agree with that, everybody? Is everybody? And we're all environmental. But we're not heavy into environmental controls and even pollution controls on our aircraft when it's a fighting jet. We don't want to have any excuses. But when our enemies hear the sound of those screaming engines through the valleys, their terrorist blood runs cold because they know that their demise is near. In particular, I want to thank outstanding airmen from the 455th Air Expeditionary Wing who deliver righteous America thunder anywhere, any place, anytime. Raise your hands. Let me see. Great job. Helps to have new equipment, doesn't it? Does it help a little bit? You got nice new equipment. Thanks as well to the skilled professionals of the Expeditionary Medical Group, who run the most capable trauma hospital in Afghanistan. Craig Joint Theater Hospital, thank you very much. Great job you do. Nobody, I'll tell you what, there's a little phrase that I hear, nobody dies today, they live to fight another day. You've done a fantastic job. And I'm told that not long ago, a critically injured soldier was brought here in need of multiple blood transfusions. Within 15 minutes, more than 100 members of Bagram, the community, the base, showed up to give their blood. That says everything you need to know about the men and women who serve here. Thank you very much. It was incredible. They needed it fast, and they got it. They got it. Every day, the fierce soldiers of the U.S. Army are carrying out harrowing missions across this land. The Army marches bravely into danger, traverses perilous terrain, and pumps stunning firepower straight into the face of evil. In particular, I want to thank the men and women of the 10th Combat Aviation Brigade who operate rotary, oh, I know what rotary is, right? Rotary wing aircraft across Afghanistan and fly magnificent Apaches like the one right next to me. That is magnificent. And I was just at Dover, because you had a terrible accident a week ago of two of your incredible people. And I greeted them as they came in on a very big plane, and I greeted their families. I heard they were fantastic people. So thank you very much for that. I know a lot of you asked about them. Their families are doing fine, but that was a rough night for them. I will tell you, it's a rough night for me. It's a rough night for everybody. Thanks also to the 1st Armored Division's Resolute Support Sustainment Brigade for supplying our forces. The brigade is incredible, so respected by everybody, keeping our military in top fighting shape. You are iron soldiers, they say. Iron soldiers. You think so? Yeah, right? I think so. And among those in RSSB are two sisters, Master Sergeant Elena Gallardo and Captain Carla Gallardo. And I don't know, where are you? Where are you two sisters? Where are they? They're here someplace. Come here. Come here. Come. Have you ever spoken publicly? Yes. Give it a she said yes. That's pretty. Please say something, please.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you both. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you both very much. I know that Senator Barrasso is very proud of the fact that Wyoming's National Guard is here at Bagram. Oh, you got them, huh? Where are they? Come here. Come here. Say a few words. Oh, yeah. Good place.
Powder River. Letterbuck.
These people are all action, no talk. But I just want to thank you for being here. And the Alpha Battery 2nd of the 300th Field Artillery Battalion, thank you very much. Your First Lieutenant Ira Weimer and First Sergeant Michael Clancy, I want to thank you very much for doing such a great job in leading the unit. Let me also recognize the terrific service members from Area Support Group Afghanistan, JTF Parwan, Task Force Cobalt, our Theater Reaction Force Fury, Task Force Griffin, Task Force Hellhound EOD. Where are you? Task Force Loyalty. I like that. I like that name. Task Force Hickey No. Hickey No. Where are you, Hickey No? That's great. Warfighters, keep up the great work. Really keep up the great work. That's fantastic. And we're glad we could mention most of you. I know we left somebody out. Did we leave anybody out? I agree. Who else? Together, we're all very proud of the part the most feared and lethal fighting force ever assembled has played toward peace. America's military dominates the sky. Nobody can dominate the sky like we do. We have the new F-35s coming out, stealth, and even super stealth. It's hard for the enemy because there's one problem they have. You can't see the planes. It's always tough to fight a plane when you can't see it. But America's military dominates the sky. You dominate the sea. You dominate the land. You dominate space. You will not be deterred, and you will never, ever be defeated. The United States never seeks war. We seek peace wherever peace can be found. We want peace. We do want peace. I want peace more than anybody. You know, they said when I was elected, oh, we'll be in a war in the first day, right? Remember that? No. But when we do, and if we do, and I hope we never do, we will win. We're going to fight to win. We only fight to win. We only fight to win. But if we are forced, we will avenge the enemy with overwhelming power, and we will win. Like the old days we won, then we went where we sort of played for ties, but we don't play for ties anymore. We don't do the tie thing anymore. Is that okay with you folks? Is that all right? Victory on the battlefield will always belong to you, the American warrior. In the long run, of course, the future of Afghanistan and nations across this region will not be decided on the battlefield. Ultimately, there will be need to be a political solution, and we're working with the president, and we're working with a lot of people right now on a political solution decided by the people of the region themselves. But rest assured that my administration will always be committed to annihilating terrorists wherever they appear, because we don't want them in our country. We're going to tell them, get the hell out, and we're doing it all the time. Get them out. And we will continue to work tirelessly for the day when we can bring each and every one of you home and safe to your family. and that day is coming very soon. In the 18 years since the attacks of September 11th, thousands of American patriots have left their everyday lives and cherished loved ones, put on their uniforms, and flown here to Afghanistan. Some of our brave warriors have made the ultimate sacrifice. We honor their memory today, and we will always honor their memory. Like all of them, each of you came to do your duty. You came to defend American liberty. You came because our nation needed you, and they needed you right here. The men and women of our military are totally loyal to our country, and every day I am president, America will always be totally loyal to you. I just want to finish by saying that with your courage, we will continue to pursue America's enemies to the ends of the earth, greatest in the world. We will chase them down. We will get the terrorists. We will break their will. We will not give them rest. No break and no way out. They won't have a chance. As long as America's soldiers, sailors, airmen, Coast Guardsmen, and Marines are on the mission, our nation's adversaries do not have even a small hope of victory. Together, we will preserve our freedom, we will protect our homeland, and we will always defend and honor our great American flag. I want to thank you, Bagram Air Base. This is a special place, a place that everybody talks about in our country. What you've done here and what you've built here is powerful. And I just want to say next year we'll be having Thanksgiving together, maybe back in the United States, because you've done so much work here and you've done it well. God bless you. God bless our great country. God bless everybody in this room. Be safe. I will see you very soon. We will be back. We'll be back, and we are coming back as a country like nobody has ever seen. When I'm greeted, and I'm often greeted by leaders of the world, they start off by saying two things. Congratulations on what you've done with your country from an economic standpoint. We've never seen anything like it. And, sir, congratulations on rebuilding your military, and that's what we've done. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Shout out to everybody watching the live show. You know what time it is. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. This is just to show you proof that former President Trump actually cared about the troops and the military and the veterans. That's why I play videos like this, so we can see what's actually going on, okay? Because a lot of people are like, he doesn't respect the military, he doesn't respect the troops, he doesn't respect the veterans, he talks down on them, according to some people. But these are evidence, these are facts, okay? These types of videos would maybe shine a light to your convictions about him. Next video is another video that would be, letting you know, showing you that he actually cares about the military and the people in service to the United States.
Take the field of battle.
Donald J. Trump.
Thank you, General. And hello, cadets. On behalf of our entire nation, let me say congratulations to the incredible West Point class of 2020. Congratulations. Everyone, have a good time. Enjoy yourselves, because we are here to celebrate your achievements, and great achievements they are. Let us also recognize your remarkable Superintendent, General Darrell Williams, for his outstanding stewardship. General, thank you very much. Great job. Thank you. Few words in the English language and few places in history have commanded as much awe and admiration as West Point. This premier military academy produces only the best of the best, the strongest of the strong, and the bravest of the brave. West Point is a universal symbol of American gallantry, loyalty, devotion, discipline, and great skill. There is no place on earth I would rather be than right here with all of you. It's a great honor. Across this hallowed plain have passed many of the greatest and most fearsome soldiers that ever lived. They were heroes who drove thundering columns of Sherman tanks into the heart of a wicked empire. They were legends who unleashed the fury of American artillery upon our enemies on remote islands and distant shores. They were titans who strode through cannon blast and cavalry charge and stared down our foes through great clouds of smoke and shrapnel. They were the Army Rangers who led the way up jagged cliffs, the airborne soldiers who rained down justice in the dark of night, the infantry whose very sight meant liberation was near, and the mighty forces who sent tyrants, terrorists, and sadistic monsters running scared through the gates of hell. No evil force on earth can match the noble power and righteous glory of the American warrior. I have no doubt that the young men and women before me today will add your names to this eternal chronicle of American heroes. You will go forth from this place adored by your countrymen, dreaded by your enemies, and respected by all throughout the world. Someday, generations of future West Point cadets will study your legacy. They will know your deeds. They will celebrate your triumphs, and they will proudly follow your example. To the 1,107 cadets who today become the newest officers in the most exceptional Army ever to take the field of battle, I am here to offer America's salute. Thank you for answering your nation's call. On this special occasion, we are delighted to be joined by Congressman Steve Womack, Secretary of the Army Ryan McCarthy, Assistant Secretary Casey Wardinsky, and Army Chief of Staff General James McConville, an old grad from the class of 1981. Let's also express our appreciation to General Curtis Buzzard, General Cindy Jebb, and all of the wonderful instructors, coaches, and faculty members who are continuing West Point's two-century tradition of unrivaled excellence. To all of the parents, grandparents, and family members watching this ceremony from your beautiful home, even though you could not be here today, we know this day could never have happened without you. Your love and sacrifice have given America these phenomenal men and women. Cadets, please join me in sending your parents and families the heartfelt thanks that they so richly deserved. They're all watching right now. Please. Thank you very much. The depth and breadth of the United States military's contributions to our society are an everlasting inspiration to us all. I want to take this opportunity to thank all members of America's armed forces in every branch, active duty, National Guard, and Reserve, who stepped forward to help battle the invisible enemy, the new virus that came to our shores from a distant land called China. We will vanquish the virus. We will extinguish this plague. I also want to thank the men and women of our National Guard who respond with precision to so many recent challenges, from hurricanes and natural disasters to ensuring peace, safety, and the constitutional rule of law on our streets. We thank every citizen who wears a uniform in selfless service to our nation. The members of this class have come from every state in our union. You have come from the farms and the cities, from states big and small, and from every race, religion, color, and creed. But when you entered the grounds, you became part of one team, one family, proudly serving one great American nation. You became brothers and sisters, pledging allegiance to the same timeless principles, joined together in a common mission to protect our country, to defend our people, and to carry on the traditions of freedom, equality, and liberty that so many gave their lives to secure. You exemplify the power of shared national purpose to transcend all differences and achieve true unity. Today you graduate as one class, and you embody one noble creed: duty, honor, country. Every graduate on this field could have gone to virtually any top-ranked university that you wanted. You chose to devote your life to the defense of America. You came to West Point because you know the truth. America is the greatest country in human history, and the United States military is the greatest force for peace and justice the world has ever known. The survival of America and the endurance of civilization itself depends on the men and women just like each of you. It depends on people who love their country with all their heart and energy and soul. It depends on citizens who build, sustain, nurture, and defend institutions like this one. That is how societies are made and how progress is advanced. What has historically made America unique is the durability of its institutions against the passions and prejudices of the moment. When times are turbulent, when the road is rough, what matters most is that which is permanent, timeless, enduring, and eternal. It was on this soil that American patriots held the most vital fortress in our war for independence. It was this school that gave us the men and women who fought and won a bloody war to extinguish the evil of slavery within one lifetime of our founding. It was the graduates of West Point, towering figures like MacArthur, Patton, Eisenhower, and Bradley, who led America to victory over the sinister Nazis and imperial fascists 75 years ago. It was under the leadership of West Point graduates like the legendary General Matthew Ridgway that the Army was at the forefront of ending the terrible injustice of segregation. It was Army strength that held the line against brutal opposition and oppression from communism. And it has been thanks to patriots like you that America has climbed to new heights of human achievement and national endeavor. This is your history. This is the legacy that each of you inherits. It is the legacy purchased with American blood at the crest of Little Round Top, on the crimson beaches of Normandy, in the freezing mud of Bastogne, and the dense jungles of Vietnam. It is the legacy of courageous, selfless, faithful patriots who fought for every inch of dirt with every ounce of strength and every last scrap of heart and drive and grit that they had. And they did it because they believed in the undying principles of our founding. They did it because they cherished their homes, their faith, their family, and their flag. And they did it because when they came to this school, they were taught to hold fast to their love of our country, to cherish our heritage, learn from it, and build upon it. That is what young Americans are taught here at West Point. That is the legacy that you carry forward as second lieutenants in the United States Army, and you must never forget it. Through 4 long years, you have honed your skills, trained your mind and body, overcome every obstacle, and earned your place of pride in the long gray line. You made it through the rigors of our day and beast, an intensity of CLDT and weeks of training in the blistering heat. You have pushed yourselves far beyond every limit imaginable. Some of you have even pushed the limits a bit too much. So for any cadets who have not finished walking off their hours, as Commander-in-Chief, I hereby absolve all cadets on restriction for minor conduct offenses, and that is effective immediately. Congratulations. That's a nice one, isn't it? Don't you feel better now? Surviving the 47-month experience is never easy, but only the class of 2020 can say it survived 48 months. And when it comes to bragging rights, no one can boast louder than the class that brought Navy's 14-year football winning streak to a screeching halt. You did that. I happened to be there. I happened to be there. That's right. That was a big day. I was there. You beat Navy and brought the Commander-in-Chief's trophy back to West Point for 2 straight years. So we say, go, Army, go. This graduating class secured more than 1,000 victories for the Black Knights, including 3 bowl victories, 13 NCAA team appearances, and a women's rugby championship with the help of somebody that I just met, 2019 MVP, Sam Sullivan. Fantastic job. Thank you. Fantastic. Five cadets won national boxing championships, and Odia Queen brought home 2. Brendan Brown earned the title of powerlifting national champion. In academics, 38 cadets have earned fellowships to continue their studies, including First Captain Dane Vanderwall, who received one of the most prestigious awards in academia, the Rhodes Scholarship. Congratulations, Dane. It's a great achievement. Thank you. Congratulations. Great achievement. But no one modeled the values of the soldier scholar quite like Lindy Moradian. Lindy earned both the highest overall class standing and the highest physical program score. She has published scientific research in a prominent journal and set 5 new records on the athletic track. Lindy, incredible job. Where is Lindy? Where is Lindy? For somebody that did so well, they didn't give you a very good seat, Lindy. We have to talk about that. Congratulations. Right now, America needs a class of cadets that lives by your motto, with vision, we lead. We need you to carry on the spirit of the great General Ulysses S. Grant. Soon after assuming overall command, following 3 years of Union setbacks, General Grant encountered someone heading north to Washington during the Battle of the Wilderness. If you see the president, Grant said, tell him from me that whatever happens, there will never be no turning back. We need you to be as visionary as Patton, who as a young man in 1917 became the first soldier assigned to the Army Tank Corps. 1 month into the job, he saw the future writing. If resistance is broken and the line is pierced, the tank must and will assume the role of pursuit cavalry and ride the enemy to death. Under Patton's leadership, that's exactly what they did. We need you to be as bold and determined as the immortal General Douglas MacArthur, who knew that the American soldier never ever quits. After leaving the Philippines for Australia at a low point of the Pacific War in 1942, MacArthur famously vowed, I shall return. For 2 years, he then took great strategic risks and placed himself often in personal danger. On October 20th, 1944, MacArthur stepped off a landing boat, strode through knee-high water, and proclaimed, people of the Philippines, I have returned. By the grace of Almighty God, our forces stand again on Philippine soil. He then called upon the island's brave people to rise up and join the fight. America's momentum was unstoppable. These great leaders were not afraid of what others might say about them. They didn't care. They knew their duty was to protect our country. They knew the Army exists to preserve the Republic and the strong foundations upon which it stands: family, God, country, liberty, and justice. They were true, tough American patriots. That is what our country needs, especially in these times. And that is what you are. Each of you begins your career in the Army at a crucial moment in American history. We are restoring the fundamental principles that the job of the American soldier is not to rebuild foreign nations, but to defend and defend strongly our nation from foreign enemies. We are ending the era of endless wars. In its place is a renewed, clear-eyed focus on defending America's vital interests. It is not the duty of U.S. troops to solve ancient conflicts in faraway lands that many people have never even heard of. We are not the policemen of the world, but let our enemies be on notice. If our people are threatened, we will never, ever hesitate to act. And when we fight, From now on, we will only fight to win. As MacArthur said, in war, there is no substitute for victory. To ensure you have the very best equipment and technology available, my administration has embarked on a colossal rebuilding of the American armed forces, a record like no other. After years of devastating budget cuts and a military that was totally depleted from these endless wars, we have invested over $2 trillion, that's with a T, dollars, in the most powerful fighting force by far on the planet Earth. We are building new ships, bombers, jet fighters, and helicopters by the hundreds, new tanks, military satellites, rockets, and missiles. Even a hypersonic missile that goes 17 times faster than the fastest missile currently available in the world and can hit a target 1,000 miles away within 14 inches from center point. For the first time in 70 years, we established a new branch of the United States military, the Space Force. It's a big deal. In recent years, America's warriors have made clear to all the high cost of threatening the American people. The savage ISIS caliphate has been 100% destroyed under the Trump administration, and its barbaric leader, al-Baghdadi, is gone, killed, over. And the world's #1 terrorist, Qasem Soleimani, is likewise dead. As Commander-in-Chief, I never forget for one instant the immense sacrifices we ask of those who wear this nation's uniform. Already you have known the crushing pain of losing a brother in arms. Today we remember an extraordinary cadet who made the supreme sacrifice in an accident last year. C.J. Morgan. We're deeply moved to be joined by his father, Christopher Morgan. And C.J. was something very special. Christopher is a Secret Service agent, a tough guy, great guy. Great son who's looking down right now. Christopher, I want you to know that we will carry CJ's blessed memory in our hearts forever. Thank you very much. Thank you. Tomorrow, America will celebrate a very important anniversary, the 245th birthday of the United States Army. Unrelated, going to be my birthday also. I don't know if that happened by accident. Did that happen by accident, please? But it's a great day because of that Army birthday. And as you know, the Army's first Commander-in-Chief, General George Washington, called the fort that stood on this majestic point the most important post in America. Its strategic location on the Hudson River was vital to our war for independence. If British ships gained control of this river, they would have divided our young nation in two. So American soldiers stretched a massive metal chain across the waters of the Hudson from West Point all the way to Constitution Island. I saw a piece of that chain. It's incredible. No enemy ship even dared try to cross. Every link in that great chain was formed from over 100 pounds of pure American iron, mined from American soil, and made with American pride. Together, those links formed an unbreakable line of defense. Standing here before you more than 2 centuries later, it is clearer than ever that General Washington's words still hold true. West Point is still the indispensable post for America, the vital ground that must not lose. And the survival of our nation still depends on the great chain reaching out from this place, one made not of iron, but of flesh and blood, of memory and spirit, of sheer faith and unyielding courage. Today, each of you becomes another link in that unbroken chain, forged in the crucible known as the United States Military Academy, the greatest on earth. It has given you soldiers that you can rely on to your right and to your left. And now we are entrusting you with the most noble task any warrior has ever had the privilege to carry out, the task of preserving American liberty. As long as you remain loyal, faithful, and true, then our enemies don't even stand a chance. Our rights will never be stolen. Our freedoms will never be trampled. Our destiny will never be denied.
And the United States of America will never be defeated. With the grace of God
and the heroes of West Point, America will always prevail. Nothing will stand in your way. Nothing will slow you down. And nothing will stop the West Point class of 2020 from achieving a true and lasting victory. God bless you. God bless the United States Army. And God bless America. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Shout out to everybody watching the live show. I see you, my brother, the warrior life, Raj, Mary Ann, W, Alfred, Rick, Curry B, Man Flips, uh, everybody watching the live show. God bless you. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. And this is going to be the last video. These videos are just to remind us that this man, that people say he doesn't respect the military, he doesn't respect the veterans. These are the videos we're throwing it back to when he was actually president and when he showed compassion and respect to the military and to, you know, the veterans. Next video, stay tuned for the next one. Subscribe to the channel, sub up, like the live show, and let's get it.
Has your back. A lot of years since the last president, and we'll be back. Thank you very much, everybody. That's a lot of years since the last president, and we'll be back. And thank you to Attorney General Sessions. Thank you, Director Wray, Assistant Director Resch, for hosting me here at the FBI National Academy to address our wonderful local police and sheriffs from all over America. Very special honor. And it's an honor to stand here today with the incredible men and women of law enforcement. Thank you. We're here to celebrate your graduation from the National Academy at Quantico. For over 80 years, this rigorous and world-renowned program has trained America's most dedicated local law enforcement officers from all across the country. So respected. Let me begin by saying to each member of the graduating class, congratulations. You left home for 11 weeks to enroll in this program because you love your jobs, you love your communities, and you love your country. Earlier this week, you completed the harrowing 6-mile yellow brick road. Just signed that beautiful brick. I just signed that brick. Designed for the Marines to push even the toughest to their limit. You endured muddy waters, barbed wire fences, icy creeks, steep hills, and so much more, knowing that your elite training will help save lives. The training you received at Quantico will give you that extra edge you need to defuse a threat, to disarm a criminal, and to deliver a child safely to her mother's arms. I am here not only to congratulate you, but to honor you for your courage and for your devotion. And I want you to know that with me as your president, America's police will have a true friend and loyal champion in the White House, more loyal than anyone else can be. I tell you. Thank you. Thank you. I also want to take a moment to speak to all of the law enforcement families here today. You make tremendous sacrifices. American families can sleep soundly at night because of the burden that you carry for all of us. So on behalf of all Americans, to every law enforcement family here today and all across the nation, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. And you do that under the most difficult conditions. You very rarely get the recognition you deserve, I can tell you that. But your families know what you deserve. And ultimately, that's the most important thing, isn't it? It's not a news story when our officers save a life, rescue a family, or stop a crime. It's just another day on the job. Yet no matter the circumstances, you serve tirelessly, selflessly, and heroically. You do it because you really believe in doing your duty and doing it properly. Being a police officer is not just a career, it's a calling, and I've seen it. I have so many friends that are police officers, so many people in the FBI. These are great, great people. These are really heroes for all of us, so thank you very much. And as we as a country must do a better job showing our police officers the respect and gratitude that you have earned, and we will do that. So when you return home to your local precincts, I want you to deliver a message to your fellow officers. The President of the United States has your back 100%. I will fight for you, and I will never, ever let you down, ever. Now, more than ever, we must support the men and women in blue. In the last 2 years, America has seen a tragic rise in violent crime. In 2015 and 2016, we witnessed the steepest 2-year consecutive increase in murders in nearly half a century. And you look at what's going on in Chicago, what the hell is going on in Chicago? What the hell is happening there? For the second year in a row, a person was shot in Chicago every 3 hours. You don't think these people in this room can stop that? They'd stop that. They'd stop it. And just north of our nation's capital in Baltimore, on average, someone was murdered nearly every day of this year. Police departments are overstretched, they're underfunded, and they're totally underappreciated, except by me. Instead of holding up our police as the role models and mentors they are, they have been subjected to malicious attacks on their character and their integrity. This anti-police sentiment is wrong, and it's dangerous, and we will not stand for it. Most concerning of all, we have seen an alarming increase in violent assaults carried out against our police officers. Last year, an officer was assaulted in America on average every 10 minutes. In 2016, more than 140 officers lost their lives serving in the line of duty. These deaths fill our hearts with pain and with grief. Every drop of blood spilled from our men and women in blue is a wound inflicted on our nation. And when a brother or sister in uniform is hurt, on that day, all of America bleeds blue. I want to send a message today to those who threaten violence against our police. We will protect those who protect us. And we believe criminals who kill police officers should get the death penalty. One of my first executive orders as president instructed the Department of Justice to take all necessary steps and legal action to protect law enforcement from acts of violence against them. The Department of Justice has also announced more than $98 million in grant funding to help your local police departments hire desperately needed new officers. Also, just as I promised, we are allowing our local police to access surplus military equipment, something the previous administration, for some reason, refused to do. Explain that one. Explain it to me, please. Never understood that one. Somebody out there can explain. Anybody want to stand up and explain it? That'd be tough. We want to bring down violent crime, then we must stand up for our police. All of us gathered here today share a common goal. We want every child to be able to walk safely home from school, and we want every mother and father to know that their children will be secure when they tuck them in at night. No family should have to worry about bullets flying through windows or gangs recruiting on street corners. Every American child should be able to grow up in a safe community, surrounded by a loving family, and preparing to embark on a bright, beautiful future. As president, my greatest duty is to protect our nation and to protect our people. As we have witnessed recently, America faces grave threats. Terrorists have struck in the streets and subways of New York City twice in a few months. Both terrorists came to our country through the dysfunctional immigration system that we are correcting, and rapidly. And one came through chain migration. The other, visa lottery. They have a lottery. You pick people. Do you think the country's given us their best people? No. What kind of a system is that? They come in by a lottery. They give us their worst people. They put them in a bin. But in his hand, when he's picking them, is really the worst of the worst. Congratulations, you're going to the United States. Okay. What a system, lottery system. we're calling for Congress to end chain migration and to end the visa lottery system and replace it with a merit-based system of immigration. We want a system that puts the needs of American families, taxpayers, and security first. That is why I have also directed the federal government, law enforcement, to work closely with our state and local police to destroy criminal cartels like the savages of MS-13. Already this year, the Department of Justice has worked with partners in Central America to arrest and charge roughly 4,000 MS-13 members. And the Department of Homeland Security has arrested nearly 800 MS-13 gang members and associates, an 83% increase from the previous year, and we're much higher this year than we were last year, and we'll get rid of them completely very soon, right? Right? They're working hard. Earlier this year, ICE officers conducted the largest crackdown on criminal gangs in the history of our country. In just 6 weeks, ICE, these are great people too, great people, and the Border Patrol agents, great people, and our law enforcement partners arrested nearly 1,400 suspects and seized more than 200 illegal firearms and nearly 600 rounds of narcotics and over 600 pounds. It's a lot of stuff. Recently, prosecutions of criminal firearm possessions were up 23%. To any member of MS-13 listening, I have a message for you. We will find you, we will arrest you, we will jail you, we will throw you the hell out of the country. I mean, somehow I like it better than jail. Jail, we have to take care of them. Who the hell wants to take care of them? You know, the jail stuff is wonderful, but we have to pay for it, right? But these are killers. These are people that are sadists in many cases. We don't want them. We don't want them. They're getting out of here. Our cities should not be sanctuaries for criminals. They should be sanctuaries for Americans. It is our duty to serve the hardworking citizens of our country who raise our families, cherish our values, salute our flag, and make this land our home. These are the citizens you represent, and these are the citizens you courageously protect. By the way, you are great people. You are incredible people. Just so you understand, you are great people doing an incredible job, and I hope your families know that. I'd say 90% probably 90% agree, right? The other 10%, that's not working out so well. We heard from one such hero among us earlier today, your class spokesperson, DEA officer Craig Wiles. It is truly amazing to see Craig's father sitting in the very seat where Craig himself sat 40 years ago when he was just 15 years old. Where is his father, by the way? Where is his father? Where's your father? There he is. He's better looking than you, by the way. It's a great story, though. It's fantastic. Thank you for being here. That's really nice. You're proud of your son, right? Good. So am I. That day, Craig watched his father speak at this podium. When he listened to his father's words, he was filled with pride and such devotion that at that moment, he too decided to become a law enforcement officer. Terrific. Today, it's incredible that his own children have joined us for this special moment. His daughter Ashley is carrying on the legacy of her father and grandfather. She now serves in law enforcement at the FBI. His son Austin is in college, and no matter what he chooses to do, I think we can confidently, and we really can, with great confidence, say that he will always be better because of his father's lifelong example of selflessness and courage and of love. So thank you, Craig, and your family. It's a terrific story, and really is a great honor to be with you. Thank you very much. But as I look out in the audience today, I see many young, bright faces. To them and to many other young Americans watching at home, of which there are many. You see, there's the fake news back there. Look, everybody. Fake news. No, actually, some of them are fine people. About, let's see, who's back there? Yeah, about 30%. You are the men and women who teach them what it means to be a police officer. You are always there for us. The men and women in blue, in the dark of night, in the rush of danger, you break down doors, race down alleys, chase down suspects, and bring down criminals. And you do it with strength and skill and pride. There's a reason that your children look up to you with their eyes full of awe and full of wonder. There's a reason that they rush to the window just to catch a glimpse of your sirens flashing by. Because to them, and to all of us, and to me, you are the guardians who keep us safe, who ward off danger, and who confront evil so that the good will always prevail. You represent the best of America, and you leave us with a debt we can never hope to repay. Today we honor you. We thank you. And we know that by your example, some of the children here today and watching at home will be inspired to fill your shoes, to continue your service, to follow in your footsteps, and to take the oath, to carry the badge, to wear the shield, and to join the ranks of heroes. Thank you to our police. Thank you to our sheriffs. Thank you to the FBI, and thank you to our law enforcement families. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Shout out to everybody watching the live show one more time. Like the live stream, smash the like button, smash the like button. Double tap your screen, smash the like button one more time. And thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being a part of the channel. You guys are the best. If you want to watch something else, put it in the chat. If not, this is going to be the end of tonight's stream. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Subscribe to the channel. We go live every single day. We're streaming every day. We're counting down to the debates. There was supposed to be a debate tomorrow, which is September 4 on Fox News, but I don't think Kamala is going to show up. So I think Trump wants to do a town hall with Hannity on Fox because Trump proposed. This is the thing, some people don't know, but Trump proposed a 3 debates date to Vice President Kamala Harris, which was September 4 for Fox and September 10 for ABC and September 20 something for somebody else. I can't remember. I think CBS or something. And she hasn't agreed to tomorrow, which is September 4, and the one for the 20 something of September. So now she's only agreed to September 10, and still she's talking about they have to meet her her campaign team, or they're saying that the the debate platform has to meet the criteria for the debate, which is she wants to sit down, she wants to have a note, and also she wants to keep the mic on. Now, I may be wrong. They might have gotten a decision based on what they want to do, but according to the news, this is what it is. And just for YouTube purposes, this is entertainment purposes, okay? So nobody says I'm hurting them. However, that's what's going on in the election news around the United States. And what else? What else? What else? What else? You guys are the best, man. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We are gonna analyze the Hannity town hall for Donald Trump, and for the people saying Trump is scared, you know, to debate Kamala. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he is. Somebody like Trump isn't scared of debating Trump. That's so somebody like Trump isn't scared of debating Kamala because he always looks for a chance to talk. He wants to talk every time he gets a chance to. So saying Trump is scared to debate Kamala, that's absolutely hat. Okay, absolutely cap. Hopefully they both agree to the terms and conditions for September 10 on ABC and everything goes down right. It is going to be absolutely amazing. And we would get a chance to listen to Kamala uninterrupted, and we would also get a chance to listen to Big T uninterrupted. You know what time it is. Shout out to my boy Warrior Life. Shout out to Corey B, Chris T, man, Med Flips. That's our moderator tonight. Kimberly Luke, everybody on the live show, you know what time it is. Oh, Courage, Little Pepper, everybody, man. Will, Alex, Mark, T Man, Coister, Raj, everybody on the live show, you guys are the best. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm about to end the live show, but first I will end the poll. So the poll says it is Trump 68% and Kamala 31%, and we had 6,300 votes. So out of 6,300 people who voted, Trump has 68% of that, and Kamala has 31% of that. It's not me. The people have spoken. It's not me, okay? The people have spoken. Anyway, shout out to everybody watching the live show. Instead of looking for perfection, seek for consistency. Instead of looking for perfection, seek for consistency. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. God bless the United States. God bless your family. God bless your children. God bless your parent. God bless your everything you got going on, your business, okay? And God bless your home. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Subscribe to the channel one more time. Smash the like button and have a wonderful, blessed night, okay?